Happy New Year, everybody. Hopefully, everybody had a great and safe holiday. You guys enjoyed yourselves. You set your resolutions, although I'm not a big fan of the resolutions. I am a big fan of getting started, though. And we have now officially started the 2024 season of MyTakeOnReality and the reviews of Sister Wives, reality shows, current pop events, everything that's going on. Have a happy new year. Give me a 1 in the chat so that I can be sure that you guys can see and hear me, and that everything is on point. What's up? Let's see what we got popping. Welcome to everybody who may be new. All right, I see a 1 popping. Okay. So the sound is good. We're on point. We're on live. All right. Welcome to everybody who is coming back. We started out last night. I'm not gonna bull stuff. I had the Kremlins. We call them Kremlins here. They used to call them Gremlins, but apparently we have Cody-esque Gremlins, so we call them Kremlins here on the channel. And I did my first live, my very first live last year. I can say I did it last year now. And when I did my live, it was awesome. No problems. Since that first one, nothing but problems. Sound don't be working. Camera shutting off. All kinds of crazy stuff. Friday, camera froze. Stream froze. We worked through it. Last night, I clicked on the live after the show to do the party. Nobody was there. All zeros across my jaw. People started hitting me up. I was like, oh, okay, maybe people just didn't want to do it tonight. No problem. Click. I'll just do it tomorrow. No issues. Then folks started hitting me up. James, where you at? James, what's going on? I went back in. I see a bunch of people waiting. We did a little short live. I was like, okay, guys, I'm going to do it tomorrow. Some folks were like, well, why don't we just do a quick one tonight? Okay, do a quick one. That quick one went 3.5 hours. So some of us are here, no sleep, but we don't care. We're going to rock it anyway because we have a whole bunch of stuff that I want to kind of hit on. We have a lot of things with the channel. I got a lot of things hopefully planned coming up this year that I'm very excited about. I hope you guys tune in for. We're going to have some folks coming in. We're going to have some more collaborations between Reality Squad and Reality Amanda. In fact, we're doing one this Wednesday. So make sure you check that out. Wednesday at 7 o'clock. It's going to be all the way live. It's a little weird for me to be doing it during the middle of the day, but I thought I'd try something different and try to touch some folks who don't necessarily have time to be able to stay up all night or get up early butt crack early in the morning to watch Sister Wives reviews. I get it. It can be a little rough because we worldwide, baby. Worldwide. Is this? Big shout out to Audrey Brinninger. Happy New Year, James. 1 million subs for you this year. Thank you so much. Thanks for the super chat at $1.89. I appreciate that. That's awesome. 1 million. Cody's life will never be the same. Can you imagine that dude would have a heart attack? He's like, he talking about me this whole time. It's ridiculous. Welcome. And for those who are not yet normal members, go ahead, welcome. Make sure you hit that like button. Let everybody know that you like it. The Bronze Empress. James is the hardest working man on YouTube. I don't know about that. I'm certainly going to be the tiredest. Oh, man. What did you guys think about that show last night? See, this is kind of a weird place too, because of the way TLC did this, rolled this whole thing out. I've been complaining about it for a while. I know some of y'all think that Kathy Foray. Some of you guys think that I complain too much about TLC and how they rolled out these extras, but I don't think so. Like, I think that there's a lot of people who were slighted because the way they rolled these 4 parts out, They didn't give any ramp up. They didn't give any notification. They just kind of sprung it on us. And then not only did they spring it on us at the last minute that they were going to run these extras, but then they turned around and didn't even let us know how we could see them. So it was kind of like, you know, trying to get directions, and you got to go down, make a left, and make a right, and make another turn, and come back, and then go under a tree and look for the one weeping willow with the red branch and the ribbon tied around the trunk. Like, you know what I mean? Like, those are the kind of directions people were getting as far as how they can access this material. So it just became weird. It was just a weird situation. And a lot of the folks are have been kind of slighted by the fact that they haven't been able to access it. I still get emails or emails and messages from folks saying that they can't see it, they don't know where to find it, where is it located, they had no idea it was happening, etc., etc., etc. And this is kind of where it hits that weird place, because TLC, although, I mean, they smash us all the time for copyright strikes because some people use too much of the clips or whatever, and they'll say, oh, you use like 30 seconds, 40 seconds of our material on your 20-hour live, so therefore you're trying to steal our stuff. But these are the same people that will rely on the YouTubers and the commenters and the Reddit folks, the Reddit pages and Facebook groups, social media groups, to let folks know how and when to find these programs. Like, shit, if you guys are going to do that, you ought to put us all on the payroll. It's only fair. It's ridiculous. But for those of you who have seen these talkbacks, because now we've concluded the talkbacks and the look back section, for you guys that have seen it, how many people think that it's quality TV? And that's the sad part about it, because although I think that there's a lot of stuff that we can talk about from both of these segments, I don't think that we've necessarily learned a tremendous amount of new information. What we have basically is the picture is almost like a coloring book, like how they had the blank pictures with the dark lines. We were given the dark lines, and there was some color in those lines. And all the look back and talk back did was help to shade in, maybe with a little different color of this, a different hue of the same color, to provide a more in-depth picture of what has already been presented. And that's all they turned into. So they talk a lot about like the catfish. They ran that shit into the ground. I mean, pardon my French, it's early in the morning, but I'm dog ass tired, so I might slip a few times. I apologize for that. But they put it up in such a way where a lot of it didn't make sense. So you blame catfish, and like Cody blames Mary's and his inability to reconcile a relationship on the fact that she was catfished. What? The whole reason why she was catfished is because you guys didn't have a relationship. I'm not going to, and again, I've said this repeatedly since I've been commenting on the catfishing. I'm not excusing the cheating. I'm not excusing Mary stepping outside of her relationship and her commitment. However, there are reasons why this happened. Like, we can't, just because I'm not going to say she was justified, well, not wholly justified in doing it, but I'm not going to sit there and say that it's okay that she did it. But I'm going to say that I understand why she did it. I clearly understand there were reasons why she did it. And so it's, and even Lane Howe, Happy New Year, Lane. Yes, but they ran a very watered down version of the catfish. They did. Like, they didn't really, like, they brought stuff up, and I want people who might not have been able to see these two programs to really understand that even though they talked about them, they really didn't get into the stuff. They didn't really pull back. It's not like they said, we're going to run these two specials, and we're going to really get into what happened with the catfish stuff. And we're going to really start holding some feet to the fire about it. So, feet to the fire, did Mary cheat? Did she cheat or did she not cheat? My vote for did she cheat? You know what? New year, new me. Instead of me just rolling my opinion straight out, let's get some. Let's do a little light poll. For those who think Mary was cheating, give me a 1 when she was with the catfish. Is that cheating? What Mary did with the catfish, is that cheating? Give me a 1. If you don't think it was cheating because she didn't have a physical affair with him, she never met this guy. Well, she didn't meet him because he wasn't real. So right on top. Like, there's no possibility that she ever met with this dude and did some physical, like, skin on skin. Skin on skin. Give me a 2. So if you think she cheated, give me a 1. If you don't, give me a 2. So in other words, if your significant other was doing the same thing, would you call it cheating or would you not call it cheating? I want it there. I mean, because that's where we have to put it. Okay, I see a 2. Okay, Dave. Like, oh, that's not cheating. A few 2s. She wasn't cheating. Okay. Now again. Okay, wait, what's this? Whoa. Because this is a 2 with a little more explanation. Okay, how can it be cheating when he tossed marriage to the curb years before? Here's the reason why I would say it's cheating. It's cheating because I understand now, again, by saying that it's cheating, it's saying that it's not cheating. I'm not saying that she wasn't justified or there weren't reasons as to why she was doing what she was doing. Now, we could argue the rightness and wrongness of her means and method. I'm saying the act of what she was doing. If she's in a committed relationship like she claims, she's claiming that she was in a committed relationship. So if she's claiming that she's in a committed relationship and this type of behavior is going on, is it cheating? That's the question. Not whether she was right, whether Cody left her and therefore the marriage was dissolved and she could do whatever she wanted. That's not what I'm asking. That's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is if she considers herself and Cody considers themselves to be in a marriage, if this was your boyfriend or your girlfriend, your husband or your wife, would it be okay for them to communicate with a person the way she was communicating with this catfish? Would it be okay? Now, if you're saying it'd be okay, then it is what it is. You know, it's not cheating. I mean, there are people who will say, you know, you can do everything up to copulation. You know, you can do the whole, you know, flip, flop, flip, flop, flop. As long as, you know, parts don't go into other parts, then it's not cheating. I've heard of those situations too. But in this particular case, would it be cheating? I'm starting some shit. Oh, I'm stirring the pot early on in the year. All right. See, and this is why I like asking, because there's a lot of folks with a mixed answer. Peanut Butter said, I don't know enough facts to say one. That's fair. Why is this up like this? Uh-oh. Okay, here we go. LD, I think Cody was cheating. Okay. See, because a lot of it, too, not cheating. All right, Kathy. Allison Tyler. Winter Witch. 2. Crystal. See, uh-oh. See, I'm kind of in this camp. Emotionally, is an affair. Angela McNulty. All right. All right. See, I like this. I like this. I like these kind of conversations. This is why I do it. 2. Okay, let's see. 2, only because I think Cody abandoned her and left their marriage a long time ago, but he's using it as an excuse. That's fair. That's fair. All right, let's see if, I think it was also telling the other wives it's over, but never telling her. Yep. All right. Nicole Dahlia, I'm trying, Nicole. Happy New Year, everybody who just joined in. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Here's my thing. Is it cheating? If this is done, I'm taking it from like point A and we're going to work it all, matriculate it all the way through. If you're in a committed relationship and you start talking to somebody online in virtual reality and you're having a romantic or a sexually charged conversations with that person and you're in a committed relationship, to me, that would be cheating. Like, irregardless of, because if you start doing that, then you start hedging it, then what can happen is it will be easy for a person to say, look, well, I mean, we were having an argument, so I should be allowed to talk to Sarah Jane or Mary Jane Rottencrotch from around the corner because we weren't getting along at the time, and you said I was an asshole, you said I was terrible, and you said you didn't want to be with me. That's what I said. Everybody get mad and say stuff, right? So from that respect, I think it was cheating. I think it was cheating because, and I used their words, their definitions. We understand that Cody had abandoned Mary and left her vulnerable to the catfish. I 100% agree with that and I acknowledge it. However, that's my perspective. According to them, they were in a committed relationship. According to them, they were still married. According to them, their relationship was still viable. And because they took that position, it becomes a lot harder for me to say, well, they're married, they're in a committed relationship, this is outside the bounds of that commitment, but we should give her a pass because she never slept with him or because she wasn't agreeing or getting along with Cody at the time. Now, so I acknowledge that first part. And this is why I think a lot of folks kind of get in that loggerhead where it was cheating, it wasn't cheating, it wasn't cheating. So from that respect, I think it was cheating. Because again, if you're married or you're in a relationship and somebody was doing what Mary was doing to you behind your back, you would call it cheating. You wouldn't go to him and be like, you were talking to a catfish? Yeah, and I was sending them sexual pictures and I was talking about what I was going to do to him and we were basically having virtual intercourse, clink, 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 with the one hand typing, doing all that. You wouldn't look at that situation and say, okay, yeah, but at least you didn't cheat on me. No, it'll be you was cheating. Well, what is this? No cheating. I can't see it. Now, with regard to that, I would say this. LD. I forgot Cody melted the ring, stopped having sex with her, and really divorced her and said she shouldn't have a hold of her. I'm changing a 1 to a 2. She was a hanger-on, not a wife. I agree with that. See, but I think that's part of the challenge with some of these shows. Because where the disagreement comes in is the justification. Like, we can sit here and say that, it's not fair the way Cody treated her. It's not fair that Cody was going out with these other ladies. But even in that same situation, if you make the argument that this behavior is okay, then it's okay. Is this behavior okay? Let me ask you this. If you're in a relationship with somebody, can they have a sexually charged relationship or talk to another person in your relationship that you guys are happy, you have kids, you just came out the hospital? If you found out your significant other was talking to somebody online the way Mary was talking to the catfish, would that be cheating? 1 or 2? 1 if it's cheating, 2 if it's not. We'll pare it all the way down. If you think that the way Mary was talking to this catfish person, not Mary, not Cody, you in your relationship, if your significant other was talking to another person online the way Mary was talking to the catfish, would it be cheating? 1 or 2? Yes for cheating, 2 for no. It's not cheating. David Johnson said no. Damn, David. David like, I wouldn't care. Okay. A couple 2s. I see some 2s jumping. A lot of 1s. And like I said, without, they broke up, they not together no more. I'm talking about just strictly, you come home, you find your husband in there, or your wife in there tapping on the keys, talking about they gonna bust it open and they gonna drop it like it's hot, etc., etc., etc. You know what I mean? What they would do to him if they could talk to him, is that cheating? I see a lot of 1s. Christy Stoll with the $5 super chat. James, your humor and insight have helped me more than you know. Happy New Year, everyone. James, that HBO, give James that HBO special. Let's get it. Thank you so much, Christine. I appreciate it. Because, like I said, I'm not trying to browbeat anybody and get you guys to think the way I want you to think. That's not what I'm doing. I just want to have the bigger conversation, like I said. SEJ. Maybe 1 if you're saying, and I agree with this, maybe 1 if you're saying the significant other is normal and loving. Okay. I agree with that. And again, I'm not, let's be very clear. I am not saying that Mary didn't have reasons as to why she was open and available and vulnerable for somebody to come into that relationship. I am not saying that. I'm not saying that the way Cody was treating her is okay. In fact, the way Cody was treating her was completely reprehensible. That's my position. I think that when Cody was treating her the way he took all of the women in his life for granted. And he assumed that because of his culture, his upbringing, and his stance on women and how he views relationships, that no matter how he treated these women and what he did to them, what he said to them, what he took from them, etc., 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 that they were never going to leave. Even if he looked them in the face and said, I don't know why y'all are still here. Get in line or get out. And he literally said that. So, get in line or get the F out. And then when they packed their bags, he looked at them and said, where y'all going? I had no idea. I didn't know where this came from. Why would they decide to leave? Who said that they were going to leave? Because he assumed that he was going to be able to treat them however he wanted to treat them. Now, I'm about to cuss. The messed up part about the whole thing, the messed up part about the whole thing is that in their culture, men, according to Cody, men can't leave unless they go to the church. That men don't have to leave. That's the thing. Like, when push them down the shove, Cody does the whole line about men and my religion and my faith and my community. We can't walk away from a wife. We can't divorce them. Because in your community, you don't have to. You don't have to divorce them. You can just stop going over there. This is like that 1940s, pre-1940s, 1950s, hell, technically before they actually had certain laws and bigamy laws on the books, and they had actual ways to be able to track marriages and track people the hell down. Guys would be married to a woman one day, he decided he tired of it, he just pack his bags and he go to work one day and never come home. That's how they used to do it. And then you find out, like, years later, like I had a cousin, I think like a 4th, 5th cousin or something like that, who, like, older guy, like way older than me. But he did that shit. He had a whole family, because my family is originally from down south. I'm like the 2nd generation North person. They were sitting down there, down south. He had a whole family down there. Whole family. Like wife, kids, whole 9. One day he got tired. He packed his bags up. Or didn't even pack his shit. He just walked out the door one day, supposedly going to work, disappeared. Gone. Came up here, and that's how he became my fifth cousin, because he married one of my relatives up here. Oh, okay. Welcome to the family. Zibone. New subscriber. Welcome. Came up here, married my cousin, and then when he passed away, that's how we found out. Well, not we, because I wasn't there. I wasn't even born when this all transpired. But I know about it. When he passed away, his previous wife and their kids came up to the funeral, sat there, and here's how I know. Here's how I know what happens when these legal wives, the man passed away and he got legal wives and he got girlfriends essentially. What happened was, when he passed away, the wife came up here at the funeral. His wife that was up here, my cousin, paid for everything. All the stuff was paid for, all that. I think at the time they didn't own a house at that time, so it wasn't any real property involved. But he had a life insurance policy. The wife sat there, played nice the whole time. The wife from down south wife, played nice the whole time. She did the whole shit, right? And she, boo. Oh, yes. Oh, thank you. Nice. Got the death certificate. And then went to the insurance company where he had his life insurance and his girlfriend, because it wasn't his wife, listed as the beneficiary. She went in there with the paperwork and said, that's my husband. You can't give her that money. That's my money. She took all the money. When I say all the money, I'm talking about all the money. Not some of the money. Not half of the money. Not a quarter of the money. Not a share of the money. She took all the money. Okay? And that's the way that shit works. And then she went and took her ass back down south. But you gotta be careful with that. Let's see. Melantha Mans. Hopefully I got that right. $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Cody abused Mary Christine Janelle in more ways than we will ever begin to know. I agree with that. In my opinion, when he melted the ring, not only did he divorce Mary in his mind, but he divorced Janelle and Christine too. You know what? In fairness, I see that point, and I agree with you. The problem that I have, and the only reason why I point this out, is because I'm looking at it from how they look at it, what their perspective of this marriage is. If they consider themselves to be in a relationship, irregardless of what he does or what he says, if they in their agreements, in their commitments, the relationship isn't over until one of them or both of them agree that the relationship is over, or they decide to leave, or they ask for a divorce, or whatever the case may be, then the relationship isn't over. The commitment isn't over until they do that. So up until that point, Mary right now, to this day, will say that she didn't get a divorce until she didn't actually leave Cody and wasn't out of the relationship until she was sitting on that bench at Coyote Pass. Which means that during the time when she was catfishing, she was cheating. And again, I'm not even saying that she was wrong. I'm not making a moral decision. Please understand that. I'm not making a moral, she's wrong and she should be condemned and shunned and told that she's a horrible person. I don't think she's a horrible person. I think that she did what she needed. I think she did what she needed to do in order to survive this terrible situation and circumstance. That's what I think she did. Yeah, Cody broke the covenant and she knew it. I agree with that to a point. In my mind, I 100% agree. And again, this is me. I agree with this. I agree. Cody had left her the minute he melted that ring down. I think Cody had abandoned him technically when he met Robin, and he had thought that he could get Robin, because I think that he knew Robin before that whole, I went to the party and Mary told me to start dancing with her, and I got out there and started doing a June bug, a jitterbug or whatever, and I was able to scoop her because I was doing Gundam style and she liked the way I was riding the horse. I don't think that that's the way it worked. I think that they knew each other before, and this is just a convenient way for them to be able to convince themselves that it was okay for him to be able to step out on her. Now, that's my opinion. According to them, they think that it wasn't. So that's where she gets. And to be honest with you, I think that she should acknowledge that the nature of the relationship that she had with the catfish, which is part of the problem. And this is where I think Lane Howe was coming in. That where Lane Howe was coming in is that when we talk about the catfish, she says by the nature of the relationship, it wasn't a sexually charged or intimacy-based relationship. I disagree with that. I don't think that makes any sense. This was a guy that she was trying to get. You were trying to get it. You're trying to get it. And it's, it is what it is. Because, again, what you have here, I think that even the people, and this is where we separate it. Now we're going to come back together. Now watch this. But before I do that, going green mom. For me, abuse, abandonment, whatever, looking for friends, okay. And if the catfish was manipulating with the threats and such like phone taps, robbing, info feed, etc., protecting your family by complying isn't. Okay, isn't cheap. I got you. See, here's the thing. I think where Lane Howe and I was at, we're coming from, and so many people in the chat, I'm coming from a position that when I say that this type of stuff is cheating, I'm talking about the sheer fact that the relationship, the nature of this relationship with the catfish. Let's do it this way. How many people think that the nature of the catfish relationship was romantic in nature? Take the cheating issue aside. We'll take it off the table. We'll table it for a minute. How many people think that the nature of the catfish relationship was romantic in nature? Give me a 1 if it was romantic in nature. Give me a 2 if you think it was just simply a friendship. 1 if it was romantic in nature, or 2 if it was a friendship. We'll do it that way. Say Coastal Diva, yes, romantic. I see some 1s popping. Romantic. Aldi, romantic. Yeah, I see a lot of 1s. And I think that this is kind of the nature of it. And we'll find the common ground. Okay? Because I see a lot of 1s. And I don't see any 2s. Okay, I see a 2. So a 2 just popped up. Fiona came in with a 2. She said it was a friendship. They was friends. You say he's just a friend. You say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what I need. Hey, you say he's just a friend. That's right. See, it was emotional and romance. Yeah, I don't think, 2, it was a setup. So 2. Well, because here's the thing, Dave. I see what you're saying, and I agree with it. I do think it was a setup. I think it was a setup. But I think that the whole setup, the reason why it was a setup is because the relationship was romantic in nature. Like, the setup was to get Mary to fall for this guy so that she would feel comfortable in getting her divorce from Cody. Let's keep it all the way a stack. Now, I'm pretty sure, David, you would agree with, when you say that the catfish was a setup, that you would agree with that. It was a romantic in nature setup So the whole purpose of the catfish was to pull her in because she thought she was going to trade one for another and feel comfortable and okay with being able to walk away from this relationship with Cody because she's going to be happy with an ideal, dreamlike man. So, I mean, I see where you're coming from. Lane Howe. She was attracted as hell to the man. It was more lust than anything. She should have suspected when someone's so handsome and a lot fitter and younger was going after her. You know what, Lane? I 100% agree with where you're coming from with that. I get it. And that's the messed up thing about the catfish because, and this is where catfishing to me is so dangerous and so jacked up. Because what the catfish does, like what's the one thing that everybody always says when you start to get catfish? You sitting there, you get your phone out, and you looking at your phone, you're like, oh yeah, man, look at this hottie toddy. This is what I'm talking to. You show them the phone, and then the person look at the phone, and they go, oh hell no, there ain't no way in the world, dog. There ain't no way in the world you pulling something like that. And so it's not just a thing where it's insulting because like they're questioning whether you can discern whether what's real and what's not real, but it's also kind of a shot. It's like, look, man, there's nowhere in the world this lady is trying to talk to you. You know what I mean? It's backhand. It's a backhand compliment, or a backhand comment, I should say. So with regard to that, that's one of the things about catfish. And then it gets you questioning who you are, what you're about. So it really hurts. Like, it really does hurt. It hurts your ego, hurts your self-esteem, and hurts your position in where you think you are. With that being said, like, it's just, you know, you're right. Like, the guy was perfect. Like, God is, like, if I was online and I'm swiping on the swipe, right? Whichever way, go right or whatever. And I'm like, swiping right, woo. And I hit these people, and you see like these gorgeous people who are just so perfect and chef's kiss. And wow, you just don't have anybody. Nobody's trying to talk to you. And you're, like, whoa. I'm talking about, man. I mean, when they walk in the room, everybody like, damn. You know what I mean? One of them. And all of a sudden, like, nobody's trying to talk to her. She don't know nobody's trying to get at her. Like, you go to the supermarket, people following you through the parking lot. Like one of them. Big shout out to Missy732. Thanks for the super chat, 1999. Bringing in the new year. What do you think about Cody saying the young girl he was talking to before he married Janelle and Christine came back after he was married to Christine and wanted to join the family? And Christine had a fit and said no. Whew! Thank you for the super chat. We're going to talk about that. That is on the list. I have some feelings about that. I do feel a certain kind of way. But let me close out this whole thing with the catfish real quick. We all agree that the relationship was romantic in nature. And whether we agree that it was cheating or not, here's my position. Mary has taken a position. Well, let me make sure I get this next super chat because these things will disappear on me. Stephanie Young with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Stephanie Young. Woo! Okay. My take is she tried to leave but got catfish. Definitely romantic. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Happy New Year. And Happy New Year to everybody. Missy and Lane for show. Everybody, Happy New Year. Let me see. Anna Boyle, please tell me that you noticed the scratch on Cody's cheek. He was getting red face heated. I wonder which one of these clips caused his Tyler tantrum. $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Anna Boyle. I did not notice the scratch on the cheek, but I did notice the temper tantrum. We're going to get into that too. Thank you for the super chat. Ooh. You need to slow down. I start screaming and hollering, losing this shit. You need to watch who you're talking to. Oh, man. That was terrible. Thank you so much, Anna Boyle. But when it comes to the catfish, just to close this out real quick. When it comes to the catfish, my position is this. Whether we believe it was cheating or not cheating, whether we think it was justified or not justified, right or wrong, irrelevant. We all come to the one conclusion from what I saw, that it was romantic in nature. Overwhelmingly, we all believe that the catfishing situation was romantic in nature. And what Mary is doing is she's creating a disservice for herself. She's doing herself a disservice because she's taking a position and she's trying to back the storyline lie that no, it wasn't romantic. He was just a friend and just somebody I was talking to online because I was lonely and it was something to do. And then all of a sudden, I started changing my whole life for this friend, and I was never leaving, and I wasn't going anywhere. And because she does that, Cody gets to slam her every chance he gets with the whole it was a catfish, she's in denial, she's trying to make herself a victim, etc., etc., etc. He gets to bash her over the head with it. If she simply acknowledged, she doesn't, okay, fine, you don't want to call it cheating because he had already abandoned you and he had already left the relationship, you can make that argument and you can use that rationalization and people will support you in that. If she were to come out and say, look, when I started talking to that catfish person, I felt as though my marriage was over because the guy, he melted down the ring, because he had stopped coming over my house, because we had not had an intimate relationship, or he wasn't, or like Cody would say, he wasn't performing his husbandly duties. Because to be honest with you, part of your husbandly duties, the act, pretending, part of the act and the husbandly duties is, it's your duty to take care of that booty. You know what I mean? Like, that's part of the deal, bro. Especially the way you guys roll with the whole traditional, the trad women and all that kind of stuff. That's part of your responsibility. Make sure she's completely taken care of. Financially, physically, sexually. So that's part of the deal. You signed up for it. You're supposed to like everybody's turkeys, as Mary would say. You're supposed to like everybody's turkeys, whether they savory, sweet, or stinky. You're supposed to love the turkey. But then that's the way it was supposed to go. But you weren't doing that. So, the relationship was over and she decided she was going to move on. You can make that argument, but it's very difficult for you to be able to justify that argument if she keeps holding to the fact that she never cheated. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't a situation where she was actually pursuing anybody, and that's not what was going on. It's hard to make that argument, and it makes her look like a liar, and it discredits everything she says after that with regard to the catfishing incident. I'm saying that in my position, she should just acknowledge that the catfishing situation was romantic in nature, full stop. She was falling for this person. It didn't work out. It was what it was. But as far as Cody was concerned, he had already abandoned the relationship. If he would have took that position, then a lot of what you guys are saying about him not being cheating because he had already abandoned her and he left her, it would hold a lot more sway. But if you're saying that you were in a committed relationship, you were honoring your commitment, you were together with him, you were keeping to your marriage vows because you were still married, then you are, by your definition, because I believe the relationship was romantic, and Cody is saying that the relationship was romantic, by your definition, you were cheating. Debs, who cares? She was humiliated. Let her deal with it however she needs to. She can deal with it however she needs to. And she's going to deal with it however she needs to. But her dealing with it her way doesn't mean I have to believe what she says. And I can have my opinion on what it is she does. And because look, if she was dealing with this and she wasn't on TV and she wasn't getting a paycheck and she didn't ask me to watch it, then I wouldn't be commenting on it. If my neighbor was doing the exact same thing Mary was doing and Cody was doing, as long as they not over there putting their hands on each other, causing me to call the police, that's their business. I don't care. I genuinely, honestly, I do not care. I'm one of those people. How you live your life and how you choose to live your life is your business. But when you put your life and you tell want people to come in and see your life, and you invite people into your life and your situation, they absolutely have a right to comment on your stuff. This goes back to the days of the talk show. If you're on a talk show and you get up and you tell your story and you want people to be on your side and you want people to herald you and give you opinions, then people are going to give you their opinion. You can't, like, I'm one of those people. Here's the crazy part. I'm one of those people, if I'm on a train or a plane or in an airport or wherever, and sitting in the library, sitting in the store, and you walking by and you got your phone on speaker, hey, you talking crazy loud, obviously you want me to be in the conversation. You're inviting me into your business. My whole thing is, if Mary's not happy, and then I say the same thing, and let's take it another step. I say the same thing about Cody. I say the same thing about Robin. With the production of how they've done this show, if you guys don't want to be on the show anymore, quit. If you don't like the way people talk about you on YouTube, you don't like people giving their opinion about what it is you're doing, what you're not doing, stop doing the show. Full stop. Stop doing the show. If Cody comes off the show, when was the last time you saw me make a video about Gosselin? Kate Gosselin. With Kate Bus 8, with Kate and John Gosselin. I've never made a video about Kate Gosselin. You know why I've never made a video about Kate Gosselin? Because Kate Gosselin ain't on TV and she's not sharing her life with us no more. And it's not my business. What Kate Gosselin do is none of my business. So if Kate Gosselin got 5 guys, she got 3 boy toys and a pool boy hanging out in the kitchen to, putting on rubbing baby oil on their backs, that's not my business. But if Robin and Mary and Cody want to present this as a lifestyle and they want to open it up for discourse, because that's what this show is. When you go on a reality show, you're opening your life up for discourse. Then I'm going to talk about your ass. So because it's such an issue on the show, yes, I'm going to talk about it. And Mary, in my perspective, Mary's going to do what Mary's going to do. She don't give a shit what I think. Mary's going to do what Mary's going to do. So my perspective is, if I give my view on these situations, I give my view on these situations because if I was in a situation, or if I had a friend who was in a similar situation, this is what I would say to them. If you're in a type of relationship like Mary, my advice to a person who is in a situation like Mary, leave the damn situation. Don't sit around and hang out and hope shit's going to get better and you trying to find somebody so you could leave somebody. Hell to the nizzle. You leave the situation. It's not going the way you want it to go. You don't have to find somebody else to give you permission to leave, and you don't have to ask for somebody else's permission to go. Point blank. Now, some people will come in and say, but James, that's not their culture. That's fine, that's not their culture. I'm saying what I would say to my friend. That's what I would say to my friend. If you're in a situation like this, don't wait around for somebody else to come in and romance you, wine you, dine you, and make it okay for you to walk out of your relationship so you can jump right into another relationship. In fact, I would recommend against that. Why? Because you have to heal from the relationship you just left. With what Cody put her through, she's not in a mental place to where she couldn't go right into another relationship because she's going to be trying to heal from a lot of the stuff that they did. It takes a lot of time, a lot of patience. And what you'll be doing is you'll be heaping a lot of that emotional trauma onto another person who had nothing to do with it. That person is going to be answering for the crimes and the misdeeds of somebody else who he doesn't know. And he's going to be trying to justify and correct situations that he had nothing to do with. And it's not fair to either party. Not to mention when Mary was talking to the catfish and she was supposed to be leaving that situation, new relationships are always hard. Especially if your relationship is based or bound to a virtual reality situation. You never sat in a room with this person. You've never sat across the table from this person. You have no idea what they're going to be like in person. But you've gotten yourself to a point through telephone conversations, emails, etc., that you're in love with this guy. You love him, and you're willing to walk away from your family for him. What happens when that relationship doesn't work? I tell you what happens. You get stuck in a relationship for another 10 years, like Mary did. That's what happens. You get stuck. Because now, when that relationship doesn't work, you turn right back around and you go right back to the person, because now they get to hit you with, see what happened? I told you. The person, nobody wants you. And all the abuse that person was giving you up to that point, it just becomes validated. You just validated that shit. When he was sitting there telling you, oh, yeah, nobody else is going to want you. Nobody else in the world is going to want you. I'm doing you a favor being with you because nobody else wants you. You start dating this catfish person. You find out that person isn't real. You've been scammed and conned the whole time. Then you turn around, and when you come back, he says, see, I told you. The person you thought that was better than me isn't even real. You know why? He wasn't real because nobody is better than me. He wound up stuck. Yeah, I agree with Joy Gibson. And again, I'm not saying that people going to deal with their stuff the way they deal with it. Okay? It's easy for me to sit here in this chair in this office and say, or studio, I guess they call it. Mary should have walked out and she should have left. It's easy for me to say that because you know why? Because if Mary stays or she goes, I sleep in my bed. You know what I mean? It ain't like Mary coming to stay with me. You know what I mean? So it's easy for me to give advice, and I recognize that shit. I recognize that. However, you know what I mean? I think that at the same time, we have to kind of give each other standards of expectation, so that way when we find ourselves in that situation, or we find friends and family in that situation, we can give them reasonable sound advice, as opposed to, well, I mean, it is what it is. Just got to do what you got to do. You know, Cody can treat you however he treats you, and when you feel good about it, you can leave. You encourage them to leave. You encourage them to get their freedom. You encourage them to find their happiness. Because Cody, you're not going to find your happiness with Cody. She's waiting around for something that's not coming. The one thing I agree with Cody when he said to her, in that truck back on their anniversary, when she said, you know, I'm waiting for you. And he said, I'm not coming. He wasn't coming. You know why he wasn't coming? Because he found somebody who was giving him the things that he wanted and he needed, or he thought he needed in his life. And those things were never going to be provided by Mary or the OG3. Because no matter what they did, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, no matter what these women did or didn't do, the one thing that they were never going to be able to do is go to sleep and wake up Robin. They weren't going to be able to do it. So it doesn't matter how nice they were, no matter how much they changed, no matter how well they got along with each other, they didn't get along with each other, they supported him, they did everything he wanted them to do. None of that matters. They never were going to rise higher than the position that they were already in. Woo, so much fun. I like these kind of conversations. This is fun. Get my blood up. Yeah. What is this? All I know is Lori Carrad. All I know is I'm giving her grace on this one if I'm allowed. Oh, you're absolutely allowed. I'm not saying that nobody's not allowed. One, I'm not saying that nobody's not allowed. Two, I'm not even saying that she's wrong. I'm not saying she's wrong. In my position, my opinion, I think that Cody left her in a vulnerable situation where she was vulnerable to this happening. I say this to guys all the time. I would say this to my buddies. Look, guys who sit there and they take their wives for granted. Oh yeah, I'm not worried about her. I'm not doing this. Don't call. Don't, stay out late. Don't call. Don't try to go home. Come home like 2 days later or a day and a half later. Don't never know it. Let her know where you at. Look, I say in that situation, you need to let your lady know what's going on in your life. And for me, I don't even call wives and stuff. That's, a legal term for me is more your lady. That's your lady. You let your lady know what's going on with you, how you're doing stuff, how you're moving. You keep her apprised. You keep Keep the team informed. Shit, send help, inform team. That's your team. You keep her informed. You keep her in line. You keep her in pace. You keep her so that she knows what's going on, so you guys can stay on the same level, so you can know together and you can grow together. That's what I'm about. So when push comes down to shove, do I think she was wrong? Do I think that am I criticizing Mary for going with this catfish? Hell to the no. At the end of the day, I totally understand why she did it. I would be surprised that she didn't do it. I'm surprised all his women weren't talking to dudes on the side, to be 100% honest with you. I'm more surprised at that. I'm not saying that Mary was wrong. Hell no. Hell no. Because Cody did abandon her. Cody did put so much on their shoulders. Cody was basically acting as though he was a little kid in these types of relationships, in these marriages. I don't know whether he started out this way or he evolved to it. These women say that he started off really, really good, and then eventually he evolved into something different or morphed into something different. I'm not going to call that either way. All I'm saying is that from what I saw on this show, Cody was acting as though he was a kid with no responsibility. He didn't have any responsibility to these women or to these kids or anybody else. The only responsibility Cody had was to Cody. The only person Cody was looking out for was Cody. So, with that being said, he went to a situation where he was only worried about what was good for him, what was convenient for him, what made him feel good. These other women had to be responsible for everything else. They had to keep the lights on. They had to make sure the kids were taken care of. When he complains about them, Janelle, I've said this before even in our previous videos, he complained about Janelle being an independent woman, a modern woman, and making decisions for herself and not acting as though she's married. When push comes down to shove, she did the things she needed to do because she had to. All these women did. They were in a marriage with a man who wasn't married to them. So they had to make decisions for themselves. They had to take care of these kids alone. And these are all things that they had to do. And I'm acknowledging that. And by me acknowledging that, I'm not saying that she was a horrible person because she started talking to this catfish person, or she should. All I'm saying is just own it. The relationship was romantic. Yes, it was. The reason why the relationship was romantic and the reason I even started talking to this catfish person is because Cody had abandoned me and dropped my ass off years before this had even happened. And stop letting him bash you in the head with it. That's all I'm saying. So do I give her grace for doing this? Absolutely. I'm not making a judgment call as far as like the morality portion of it. I'm not saying that she should be shunned and she should no longer be allowed at the dinner table because she had a catfish. No. Vi for life. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Don't forget to revisit the courting situation. And what did Cody mean by Mary beat him the first year of marriage? I think he's saying that, thank you for the super chat. Happy New Year. I think that what he was referring to is, with the beating, I don't think he meant that Mary was jumping in there and just giving him fades every morning. Like Cody, wake up, Cody. Good night. You know what I mean? I don't think she was doing that shit. I don't think she was doing that. Now, what I think he's trying to say is she was emotionally coming at him. She was emotionally beating him down and making him feel a certain kind of way, making him questioning his manhood, and making him feel like he wasn't providing for the family because she was probably talking to him. You know, when you have a guy who's more concerned about having a sports car with 13 kids and a motorcycle with 13 kids than having his wives having a reliable functional car between 3 wives, that says a lot about what she was working with and the type of man and the financial responsibility that man carried as far as to his family. That's my perspective. Like, we talk about production, that'd be a production side of it. So, with that being said, she was probably doing what a good partner, not a good wife, but a good partner would do. Hey, we're not making these bills. Hey, we need to take care of this. Hey, instead of us going on vacation, we need to get some health insurance on these kids, or make sure these kids have something to eat. Hey, instead of us spending money on a Lexus convertible car, we need to make sure that the food pantry is full so we can feed these 13 kids and ourselves. You know, hey, instead of us having a motorcycle and going on motorcycle trips, we need to make sure that we have gas in the car so we can get back and forth to work. Those are probably some of the things that these three women were talking to this man about, and he didn't want to hear it, and he didn't like it. And when you look at that conversely with Robin didn't say none of that shit. She said, you know, instead of you having that convertible car with 13 kids, Robin was asking for a ride. That, you know, that's, in my perspective, that's what I think happened. So when you talk about the courting situation, are you talking about the courting situation with Robin or that girl? Because I do want to talk about that. All right. I'll table the catfish stuff for now. And let's get into the... That's an interesting point. Denise Rose. I wish someone would just repeat Cody's stupid phrases back to him in conversation. Watch him squirm and try to make sense of what he just said because it doesn't make sense. Yeah, make it make sense. Yeah, Mace Chill. What is this? I also agree that maybe TLC is using it to ensure that they don't get a spinoff show. Yeah. And I think that that's part of the production side of it. They're showing that when they're showing a lot of this disagreement between Cody and everybody, what they're doing is they're not only taking Cody's statements and then putting, like, so Cody will come out, make a statement where both him and Robin will try to rewrite history, which is a big thing for them now. They're trying to recondition their image, so they're trying to rewrite history. I never knew that. Oh gosh, I guess it was a change. But this is what really happened behind the scenes, etc., right? Because they're trying to recondition and retell the story. And when TLC takes that statement and then they take the statement that the statement proving or disproving the statement that they just made and put them side by side, that's you getting screwed by the editing department and the producers and the directors. That's them screwing you. Because they don't have to, like, maybe the YouTubers and people, the fans and the people who watch the show will remember, hey, that doesn't make sense. That's a contradiction of what he said back in season, blah, blah, blah. But TLC has recently been taking a lot of those same clips and smashing them right against each other, saying that, yeah, I never said that. And they show Cody saying it. So that's a way for them to screw them over. For a couple reasons, and I'll get into it in a minute. Sarcasm for Fun with the $9.99 super chat. I was praying for it was a better man than Cody Locks. She deserves better. Yes, she does. Happy New Year, all. Let's get those likes up. Thank you, Sarcasm for Fun. Appreciate you. And that's the thing. I don't think that there's anybody here who would disagree that Mary and the OG3 deserve to be happy. I 100% believe they deserve to be happy. I just don't like the idea that she's getting, like, it's a way that Cody keeps using that catfish situation to continually beat her down. Because the catfish thing, I said I was going to table it, but just one more thing on the catfish thing, and I'll table it after this. The catfish situation wasn't just a slight on Mary, because the catfish situation, when used, was a way for Cody to control his other wives. The reason why the catfish situation is so important and so prescient to Cody in this situation is because Cody gets to look at this catfish situation and say to the other wives, one, Mary tries to leave. She tries to get somebody who's richer, better looking, and more attentive than Cody, a better man than Cody. She fails, and she has to come back. And what did Mary start doing after the catfish situation? She tries to beg her way back into the family. And people go, oh no, that's not like she's a good, strong person. I'm not saying she's not a strong person. I'm not criticizing her character, but that's what she was doing. She was trying to beg her way back into a relationship with Cody. And when while she's doing that, it shows the other women that if you try to leave, you're going to get screwed over. And then you too are going to have to come back and try to beg your way back into my favor. And you see how I'm treating Mary? She's the example. So I want to break that example. I want to make it okay for her to leave. That's what makes that. To be honest with you, that's one of the things that makes Christine such a hard sell for Cody, because she was able to leave Cody and find a happier relationship with a richer guy. And she's in a better situation, even aside from the money. The fact that she's in a better relationship than she was with Cody, it's a hurt piece for him, and it discredits everything that Cody has to say. So even from that respect. Of course, all your wives are going to leave. This is part of the reason why when the women leave in these traditional relationships, they get shunned. This is why the shunning is so important to them in these communities, because you need these women to be isolated, desolate, and financially destroyed, so they have to come back. They can't go anywhere else. They feel helpless in their ability to walk away, and if they do walk away, they're destroyed, and thereby they become the example for the other women. So if you leave, this could be you. This could be your kids. And then you go and get the kids from them, and you turn the kids against the mother. You turn the sister wives against the woman who left. You turn the husband obviously isn't there, and the community is supposed to turn their back on them. It's a whole thing. That's why I'm so crazy about the catfish stuff. Keisha Lee with the $5 super chat. I think Cody and Robin will be making cameos on. They'll be starting their lucrative cameo career. They wrapped up 3 seasons with this last episode. It was the 3 series. It was their series finale. Yes. And you know what? Let's get into that a little bit. Let's get into that. Let me just make sure. Oh, okay. Oh, Miss Noreka. I love the name. Miss Noreka. $3.99 super chat with the sticker. All right. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. Aisha B. Curly Q's most comfy with R because he has a spotlight, a spoiled mama boy. He's a spoiled mama's boy. I agree with that. He does act like a mama's boy for the most part. I should be with the $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Happy New Year, everybody. This is awesome. Yeah, just as far as production, one of the things that I wrote down and I wanted to touch on with regards to production, first thing, when it comes to, Rochelle J, what is this? And Brooke Goldstein had an awesome question for you. Let's take a look. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat, Rochelle. Thanks for keeping me on point. Let me see. I gotta find it. Oh, wait. Let's see. Can't go back. Can't see it. Rochelle, could you just send me the question, or Brooke J, could you just repost the question, please? And I'll talk about it. Oh yeah, don't forget to hit the like button. You can tell. You can tell that the cameraman really liked Mary, especially Tim. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I ain't mad at Mary. Do your thing, Mary. Do your thing. You know what I mean? Everybody need a Tim in their life. You know what I mean? Maybe Tim the maintenance man. He come by and, tune some of them pipes up. Bing, 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 bing. Get in there and do his thing. Ain't nobody mad at it. Look, I think Mary deserves happiness. because she's been miserable for so long. And one of the let me get to this real quick. I don't see the question. Okay. Yeah. If you could send me that question, Brooke Goldstein, just repost the question and I'll see if I can answer it. Oh, here we go. Hey James, when you get to it, can we talk about Cody freaked out that all women said it's more fun without him, even Robin. So much for wanting them to have a good relationship. All right, you know what? Screw it. Well, let's talk about that first. We'll talk about that. Then we'll talk about the production side. All right. Here's the thing. Cody's whole position with the freak out. Now, for those not familiar with what we're talking about, and I'm pretty sure I understand, but I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. One of the things that Cody had mentioned was he did like kind of a flashback that the women were saying that, you know, they won't truly get along until after Cody passed. Once he dies, it'll be a girl party, and everybody likes a girl party. That's what they were saying. And then even Robin was like, yeah, you know, it's different when Cody's around. And at that point, what was Cody's exact quote? Get along. Basically, he said F off. And they started cussing and going ham. He started going nuts. Ham is hard as a mother. He started going nuts. He lost his shit when he was like, oh, yeah, you said they ain't going to get along until I die. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell, dude? Like, you know, could you imagine? And here's the thing. Let's talk about a little bit of production side. When Cody starts flipping out like that, you do realize that there are people who are filming this. There are people there, and some of these people, I'm sure, like, you need to calm down. You need to bring that shit all the way down. Because you screaming at me, and I don't know which way you're going. You know, but you might get tripped up. Because I'm not sure what's happening with you. So he starts flipping out, talking about it's not fair and it's not right that these people are talking about him, and it's not fair and it's not right, it's not appropriate, and they should be happy that he's around and be celebrating him, and why do they have to die in order for everybody to get along, blah, blah, blah. Here's the whole point, though. We have to understand the way in which Cody is looking at these women as far as their role as a wife. When he looks at them as a role as a wife, and he's talking about the sister-wife relationship, what he's talking about, he's not saying that we're all equals and we're all on the same page and we're all trying to work together and make this happen. What he's saying is that I don't want to be the hub, the center. Remember he said that? I don't want to be the center because if I die or something happens to me, you guys will all fall apart and blah, blah, blah. That's not all the way true. What it is the wives are supposed to be distractions for the other wives. Remember, I think even Christina said it, like this is just a cultural thing. When you have one wife and you go get another wife, then either your wife or your second wife will be jealous because one of the wives will be alone when you're with the other wife. When you have the third wife, remember Christine, I want to be the third wife because by then they figured out a lot of the kinks. One of the benefits of the third wife or adding a third wife is that the wife you're not with now has a companion. So you can be with one wife and the other wives are supposed to keep each other company and occupied and more to the point distracted so they don't recognize the fact that they're not with their husband. And they can enjoy their sacred loneliness together. That's the whole point. So when Cody starts flipping out that these women ain't going to truly get along, he until he's dead, they looking forward to the day he dies so they can actually become sister wives. He's offended because to him, these relationships are built on his convenience. As much as they sat there in the first part or the first quarter of this series or this story on a propaganda program, They sat there and pretended like we're all one big happy family and we all get along and everything is wonderful because we're all equals and these women are just as good as I am and I'm just as good as they are. No, that we don't live in a patriarchy and blah, blah, blah. The truth of the matter is it is a patriarchal system. The essence and cause and determinant of the family is to support and take care of the patriarch's needs, wishes, and conveniences. So they're there for at his pleasure. They're there to serve him. That's what they're there for. This also goes hand in hand with, like I said before, when you talk about their ability to walk away or leave, when he said, you can leave, but then he didn't expect them to go. They're not supposed to go unless he doesn't want to be with them anymore. Mary was supposed to leave because she was no longer convenient. It wasn't about what she thought or how she felt about the relationship or whether she wanted to be in it or not. He didn't care. It was about how he felt, what was comfortable for him. When Christine left, because they were in a similar situation, when Christine left, he wanted Christine to stay. Why? Because Christine was the glue that held his family together. Christine was the bridge to the kids. And he just didn't want to deal with Christine daily. He didn't want to deal with Christine except for when he wanted to deal with her. He had Janelle. She was providing a lot of the financial support and a lot of the financial advice, but he didn't want to go over there anymore. He didn't want to spend time with him anymore because it wasn't convenient for him. Everything in this relationship was about Cody. And so when these ladies start talking about relationships that live and go beyond Cody, he gets upset and he gets mad. He starts flipping the hell out. This is ridiculous. I can't believe this. They talk about having relationships without me? Without me? It can't happen. You know, the fact that Christine and Janelle get along. Janelle should have turned. The reason why he says that Janelle is disloyal is because, and the reason why he was yelling at Christine on the porch is partly because of Robin and partly because of Janelle. He's yelling at Janelle too, to set an example to Janelle that this is a person who is the enemy of the family now, and you're supposed to be on my side because you're my wife, you're my convenience. She turned her back on me. I need to shun her. We all need to shun her, make her feel bad. We need to turn the kids against her so that way she comes back and she starts to serve my convenience again. That's what it's about. When Robin and him talk about they didn't want this and the breakup of the family and all that stuff, what they're talking about is these people were supposed to sit in their hovels and their holes and their closets until Cody and Robin decided they want to pull them out. Cody wants to be with Robin because Robin is a convenience to him and she makes him feel a certain kind of way. So he wants to keep Robin around. Robin is playing the hell out of the game, but that's what it is for Cody. And when he deals with his other wives, when they want to have the big family events, the big family gatherings, they want to have a birthday party for themselves or for their kids, and they want to have a lot of people in the backdrop. They pull a OG3 and the OG13 out of the closet. Here you go, boom, bingo, bango. Let's do this event. Okay, once the event is over, you can go now. Go back to your hovel. That's the way he was treating it. So yeah, he lost his shit when they were sitting there talking about they were going to have relationships outside of him. Because if they have relationships outside of him, then they actually have relationships. And the last thing you want, if you're a person in charge, the last thing you want is the people underneath you, especially if you're not in charge as a leader, but you're in charge of an oppressive institution. The last thing you want is for the people that you're oppressing to start getting together and realizing that they're in it together. The thing that you need and the thing that you thrive on in an oppressive regime is chaos, confusion, and distraction. So you need them arguing amongst each other. You need them disliking each other, calling each other's names. That's why Cody spends so much time. You know, they say it's easy being an oppressor. It's not. You spend a lot of legwork. It's a lot of legwork. Cody had to spend a lot of time at each one of the wives' houses talking about the other wives to the other wives so he can keep them separated. If he was so interested in being one family, that's a big lie, another big lie they kept telling. If he was so interested in being one big happy family, he would have just went to the one person and talked to the one person. He'd have went to the other person. If you have an issue with them, go talk to them. If these two people have an issue with each other and they can't seem to resolve it, he should have came in as a mediator, sat them both at a table and tried to work it out. If that's what he really wanted to do. But that's not what he really wanted to do. Why? Because he never ever wanted them to all get along. He wanted them to get along when it was convenient for him. He needed them to be able to get along so that way they can provide cover for him when he needs cover. I'm thinking about leaving Cody. They're supposed to do what Mary did to Christine when she was sitting on the bed. I'm not happy with this situation. I don't like how it's going. I need Cody to change. Well, you need to change yourself. That's what Mary was telling Christine back in like season 3. I'm just saying. Okay, Gina Fitzgerald with the $5 super chat. Sorry it took me so long to get to it. Thank you so much. I hope Cody finds a new wife who treats Simon the way she treated OG3 and her kids. He may. I don't know. I don't know if Cody can pull it off. I don't know. Because to be honest with you, I don't. I'm sorry. Lost track. I don't know, because Robin won't find herself in the same situation that Mary put herself in. Because Robin is a different creature altogether. Robin is a survivor. Like her, love her, hate her. I don't care how you feel about her. At the end of the day, Robin's a damn survivor. She's like a cockroach. She's an El Cucaracha. Okay? She will survive. Robin is a survivor. Like she does what she needs to do in order to survive. You can see a lot of the traits that she uses, because to me, it's like, I used to call them chameleon personalities, because she's one of those people. Even early on, when people would ask opinions, I've said this before. When people ask opinions of Robin, or they ask opinions of the group, Robin would always insist that everybody answer before her, because she wants to get a lay of the land, find out where everybody is. And then she'll say just enough to make it feel like she's agreeing with you, but she didn't say shit. Like oh yeah, blah, 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 and be like, wow, okay, yeah, that sounds good. But she didn't say that she agreed with you or that she was going to go along with you. And then she would reserve her opinion to go talk to Cody by herself, and then try to craft and shape his opinion into what she wants, and try to push a lot of that for herself. So, like, she's a survivor. So when I say all that to say this, if Cody brought in another woman who was a younger, finer, fitter woman who was serving his needs the way Robin was serving his needs and ego, and she started to rise above Robin and Robin couldn't outpace her, Robin would divorce Cody and rip his pockets out. She's not going to do the whole, I want to get a divorce from you to try to save our relationship. She will destroy Cody financially. She will destroy him. So, and especially, like, there was a point last night too. We'll just click on that real quick. Thank you so much for the super chat. There was a point last night as well where he did the whole response to Jeff thing, and somebody's talking about me. My ears are ringing hard. He did the whole response to Jeff, and if you look at Cody's when he was talking about, I'm angry, and he's trying to get that acknowledgement from Robin. This is the picture that they had. Like, look at him. He's looking at her for approval. Like, Robin has him so shook, and she has him so depleted, and she took so much away from him that he now almost requires her approval or her validation. He's looking at her for validation for certain things. Even Robin with that look on her face where she's discouraged, and she's like, oh my God, this dude won't shut the hell up. He's not going to do what I want him to do. Robin is a little more advanced than Cody when it comes to understanding the perspective of how people will see certain things. She's more concerned about it. Cody is, I'm going to just say what I'm going to say, and everybody's going to feel bad for me, because he's so tied up in himself that he doesn't see other people. Robin is a little more attuned to making those adjustments than Cody is. So she recognized that when Cody started flipping out about Jeff, and talk about how he didn't understand nothing because he didn't watch the show, and you only watch the show and you listen to too many tabloids, and you don't know my life. You don't know my life. You don't know my life. He started that stuff. And Robin was like, you need to shut up, because we're going to get cooked. She was basically, in her mind, I could see in her reaction to that, she was like, we're going to get cooked. Shut up. And Cody wouldn't shut up. That's why. Big shout out to Alicia 1704 with the 1999 super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you for a great way to enter 2024. Last night, New Year's Eve live was fun. Okay, I'm glad you had a great time. Dr. Carl was insightful as well. Yeah, Dr. Carl is a shot. He's the truth. Your success is well deserved. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. James, you possess wisdom, insightfulness, and communication. A fantastic creator. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Happy New Year. Thanks for coming in last night. You was rocking. Appreciate you. So yeah, that was that. Just to go real quick, I'm gonna take a step back real quick and look at the production side of it. So when we talk about production, again, we talk about where Cody and Robin are now as far as the production team is concerned. When you look at them moving forward, as it was mentioned earlier, Cody and Robin, at this point, this is kind of their season finale. I agree with that perspective because they aren't really contributing anything new to the storyline. They've been ostracized away from the family, self-imposed in some cases, from a lot of the members of the family. Okay? Peanut butter now. Think it's peanut butter. Think it's cold peanut butter. Oh, man. There you go. In the house. But they're not offering anything new, any new contributions to what's going on. And they're not giving us any new information. The information that they have at this point is all stale information, and the only thing they seem to be wanting to talk about is trying to retread or rewrite history based on the relationships that they used to have, seasons that we've already seen. And even when they go back and say, okay, I want to talk about what had happened and blah, 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 and then the producers say, okay, well, here's us filming it, they turn around and say, well, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to watch the video. You don't watch the video. Why don't you want to watch the video? I'm not trying to go back. This is a very painful time in my life. It was the worst time in my life, and I don't want to go back and talk about this stuff ever again. 2 minutes later, well, Christine had left me. I think you didn't want to ever talk about it again. What happened? I didn't want to talk about your breakup with Janelle. Janelle is not loyal. She's a shit sister wife, and maybe I was a crap husband. I think you didn't want to talk about it. Let's talk about something new. How's your life with Robin? I don't want to talk about her. Well, if you don't want to talk about anything, why are you on the show? Why are you on the show? You don't have to do this. And this is what I was saying, when it comes to a lot of this. If you stop doing the show, if Cody and Robin stop doing the show, the only thing, if I do comment on Cody and Robin, the only thing I would comment on Cody and Robin about would be the things that they did on the show. I don't comment about things. If they stop doing the show, you notice on this channel, I haven't talked about Hunter. I like Hunter. I think Hunter is a very interesting character. I think Hunter is interesting to watch. I think that I haven't talked about a whole lot about Garrison and a lot of the kids, with the exception of their appearances on the show. You know why I don't get into their business? Because they're not on TV. And if they want to keep their private lives private, I respect that. But if you're on TV and this is how you pay your bills, you need to show up. This is like you saying, I want to be a professional football player. I want to get the contract, get that NFL contract, but I don't want to come out. I don't want to play on Sunday. That's when we play all the games. Well, that's the day of the Sabbath, and I don't violate the 10 Commandments, so I don't play on Sunday. Then you don't play. You're not getting a check. That's how that works. So if you don't want to share your life on a reality show, you're not on a reality show. The next thing is that the characters are so disliked. No one is interested in watching Cody and Robin redemption arc, which is what they're trying to. That's what they're trying to sell. They're trying to sell by them reconditioning their image. They're trying to sell us on the fan base on the idea of a redemption arc. We don't really know them. Let's watch a new show, a spin-off show, so that we can get to know who they are and what they're about and how they do things. I'm not interested in watching them trying to redeem themselves. I'm just not. It's just, I don't know. Because to me, it would seem fake. A big shout out to Teresa Skinner. What's up? Happy New Year, Teresa. Happy New Year's, James. The inconsistencies never end with the $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. You're awesome, amazing, and you are 100% right. The inconsistencies never end, which you'll read my mind, Teresa. We are on the same damn page. One of the big problems with the inconsistencies and them trying to recondition their character and trying to do this, what you're saying, especially the stories that you're telling now, you're saying that everything we've seen thus far to this point has been a stone lie. That none of it is accurate, that none of it is right, that none of it makes sense. So if none of it is accurate, none of it is right, and you participated in it, that means that you were lying to us for the last 18 seasons on this show. I'm sorry, last 17 seasons on this show. You lied to us. And let's be honest, all of us know that they lied to us. We knew when they were lying back in season 1, episode 1, they were talking about, we're all a great family. We all get along. We don't really have jealousies. I mean, jealousy exists, but we're not really jealous of each other because we love each other. We best friends. We all knew that shit was a lie, right? But we overlooked it. We gave grace. We looked past it. But if you're saying that the entire thing is staged, the entire thing is a lie, the entire thing is kind of that storyline output, and we can't trust none of it, why am I wasting my time watching your show then? And that damages not only Cody and Robin, that also damages the brand, that also damages the show. And this is why I think that the producers are actually coming after Robin and Cody, because they're not being careful about how they're trying to justify the inconsistencies in their story versus where the positions they're taking now versus the positions they used to take. And that damages the story. Like the whole, oh, this is not ever what happened, and this isn't what was really going on, and we never really got along, and this was all a lie. And, you know, did the producers put you up to it? Did the producers know? Did TLC know? If TLC knew and they put it on the air anyway, then they lied to us, and we shouldn't watch the show anymore. And so I think that when Cody and Robin are doing that, they're not only trying to damage themselves, they're trying to damage Christine and Janelle and prevent them from being able to leave. This is their way of doing it. They're trying to burn the house down because they're not getting what they wanted. And that's kind of like that childlike temper tantrum that some of the folks were talking about earlier on. And at this point, one of the other bullet points I had, they're only there to slam the OG3. That's the only purpose that they've been serving in the last few seasons. The only thing they talk about, the only thing they've been doing, the only functional conversations they've actually had was them coming in and saying that the OG3 did something wrong. Either Christine was doing something wrong because she wasn't committed to the family and she wasn't taking care. She was a shit sister wife and she wasn't trying to get along with the other sister wives, you know, Mary and Janelle, because he loves them so much. And it had nothing to do with Robin. Or he wants to crap talk Janelle because she's messing him up with his kids and that's why he can't get along with her, because she's too busy complaining he's spending time over there with Robin. Then, of course, you had Mary, who he never loved ever. And was just a horrible, nasty person who was just taking advantage of him and abusing him and mistreating him. And he was such a lost soul. So all he's doing is just bashing them. And to be honest with you, I'm tired of watching him bash them. Because these women did what they needed to do in order to survive the situations that they were in. And I'm not, you know, I could look at a particular character in particular and say, yeah, she's not my favorite character. But at the same time, I don't think she deserved half the stuff that Cody was doing to her. The character I'm talking about is Mary. I don't think Mary deserved half of what Cody was doing to her. Because he was doing things to her where he was stripping her of her humanity. You know, and one of the, I'll get into one of the sadder parts of the thing that really bothered me with regards to something that Mary said during the look back. Because they spent all their time bashing OG3, if you listen to what they're bashing them about, they're always bashing the OG3 about things that happened a couple years ago. They don't even have new stuff to bash them on. The information that the arguments and disagreements they're having with them, they're not even new disagreements. They're like old ass disagreements. Stuff that you like, look, you got the woman you want. You're complaining that Christine, Mary, and Janelle made your life hell because you had to pretend to love them and it made your life so difficult. Well, you don't have them now. So what are you mad about? Let it go. Stop. Get some help. You know what I mean? So you have that. the big part of production, both of them are very difficult to work with. And that's one of the most deadliest things you could ever do in a production like this, is be a talent, on-air talent, who is difficult to work with, because they start balancing whether it's worthwhile for them to have you on screen or not, whether it's profitable. And once they start to ask that question, you're not long. Because if they can ever figure a way to be able to make or sustain the show without you there, and they are by getting rid of you, they're not only saving some money, but they're also saving on huge headaches and production costs and stuff, they'll get rid of your ass. A big example of the production side and being difficult to work with, when Cody comes out, or we'll start with Robin. When Robin sits there and says that she doesn't want to answer questions, she came out for the look back, and she, with the sad face, like she didn't want to be there. And are you ready to start? No. And she's sitting there trying to act like she's all dejected and looking around the room like she don't know what's happening, or she's confused as to where she is. Who am I? What am I doing here? Like, you didn't need to get this chick checked out. Right? And she's sitting there doing all that stuff and acting like she's not excited to be a part of the program. This is your job. This is the job. You're going to film a bunch of stuff, then you're going to review that stuff, then you're going to give insight and commentary on the things that were going on at the time and what your position is and how you feel about it. They're going to show you some things of people talking about you. You're going to give your opinion on it. That's the job. And it doesn't matter how great, wonderful you are. If you can't do the job, then you don't serve a purpose at this position. And when she sits there and says, I'm not going to answer questions, and she jumps up and storms off, they have to stop production. That costs, every time she walks off the stage or walks off the set and she unplugs everything, that costs money. That's money walking off the stage. Because now she gets up, I can't, how do you stop this? I can't do it. I can't. And she jumps up and runs off. Okay, guys, take a break, shut everything down. So you got to shut everything down. Then however long it takes for her to get her shit back together, because she's having an anxiety attack or whatever, she can't take the pressure. And that's the weird thing about it, because honestly, some people say, James, you're being cold about it, because not everybody can do this. This is a hard job because it's a lot of pressure, a lot of eyes on you, and it's possible that you can snap. That's absolutely true, but this is what makes you a professional. Okay, you could be the kind of person got Super Bowl Sunday coming up. You could be a quarterback who could stand in one end zone, have a moving target of a tricycle wheel on the other end zone, moving down across, and you could throw the ball from one end of the field to the other end of the field, lace the damn thing, thread the needle right through that little tricycle wheel, which is damn near, nobody can do that shit, right? You could do that every time you throw the ball. But if you can't throw the ball during the game, you won't get hired. That's the difference between a professional, somebody who gets paid to do it, and somebody who just does it for fun. If she wants to get paid what TLC is paying her, she has to be able to sit there in that chair and answer the questions. If you can't because it's too much for you, then you can't do the job. You got to go. And that's not me being cold. That's just the business of it. But when she gets up and walks off, they take a break and they stop everything. Then they have to calm her down. Then when she gets herself ready and they're able to restart, if they're able to restart, you got people just sitting around making money. Because everybody who works the cameras and stuff, they get paid by the hour. So the longer they work, they love working. Okay, she want to run off, let her run off. I'll just sip my coffee, eat my donut, and I'll wait for her to come back, and then we'll start. And if it was supposed to be one day, but she's able to stretch that into 2 or 3 days of production, you're not only impacting the time that the people are working there and contracted to work there and film, but you could be affecting future filming schedules, taping schedules, shoot schedules, you're affecting people's time. You're affecting the deadline on when people can get it done. You can push it back to the point where things hit the editors or post-production late. That costs extra money because now you're rushing people and they have to work overtime. So there's a lot of, this is a ripple effect. And her jumping up and running off costs a shit ton of money. So yeah, she will get fired from walking off the set. That's like walking off your job. She walks off her job. Well, Cody, he gets mad, refuses to answer questions. Not only does Cody refuse to answer questions, but he starts to get hostile with the production team. That's not tolerated. That's not tolerated. You sitting there, look, I'm not answering these questions. I'm tired of talking about this. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. This is a painful time in my life. You yelling at these producers and these directors. You mad at me because I'm doing my job. You need to back that shit all the way down. You don't want to do something, we could talk about it, but you're not going to sit here and yell at me like I'm a kid. That can get you fired off of these types of jobs. And it does another thing. When you have this type of trouble and you have these types of problems, if they do fire Cody and Robin, the production team is screwing them because they're airing the temper tantrums. They're airing the difficulties, which lets other stations like Bravo or anybody else who does reality shows, they're hard to work with. And they will cost you money. Because when we look at it like, oh, they're being assholes, when a production company looks at it, they're saying, these people are costing TLC money. I'm trying to get less money. That's why they gave them little tablets to sit there and tape themselves with, put a camera up. You have maybe run 1 or 2 cameras at the time. You might not even have 2 film guys. You can have a guy show up, set cameras up on stage. You start everything, have the sound going. So you have a cameraman, maybe 1 or 2 cameramen, and you have a sound person. Just mic them and have them doing the sound, or you just boom mic them, right? And you run the sound, and you have the director sit there and ask them questions or whatever. And that'd be it. That's like a bare bones skeleton crew. And they're saving money. But you're not saving money if this guy's going to start flipping out on people. So, I mean, it's just a bad look. Letitia Smith with the $6.99 super chat. Thank you so much. If being a mother taught me anything, Robin's outbursts watching the commitment ceremony scream guilty. Yeah. I get what you. Yeah, right. I destroyed this whole family. I did it. Confess much? Thank you so much for the super chat. Sarcasmal forward to $9.99 super chat. Thank you, Rain Chat. $2 for his work and long hours. Oh, thank you again, chat. That's probably what you wrote. $2 for his work and long hours. Thank you. Hit that like button. Please hit the like button. I'm trying to make this entertaining. Be our guest, be our guest. Put your freedom to the test, because we're going to have fun with Cody, and we're going to crush all the rest. Oh, man. Yep. Thea L. Robin needs to be fired for always walking off set. This is her only job without the show. She contributes nothing. Nothing! 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 Yeah, because look, and especially like with even with that, look, TLC, and I'm not a big fan of driving screws on people, but TLC does have screws to drive. Working for TLC, that Cody and Robin don't have any income coming in. You know that. You know they don't have no money coming in. Cody, Christine, I'm running the whole roster. You see that? Anybody with more than one kid know that. Hey, get that Tommy, don't Frank, call everybody in the world a bunch of kids. I'm running the roster. Christine said that on the Juicy Scoop podcast that she was on. I finally got it, guys. New year, new me. She said that when talking about what Cody does for a living, she said she didn't know what Cody did for a living. Now, this woman been married to this dude for 30 years, known him longer than that. And she has no idea what this dude do for a living. Cody don't have a job. Cody's job is TLC and cameos. That's his job. Robin hasn't had a job since they started, other than TLC and Sister Wife's Closet. So, and Sister Wife's Closet is dead and gone. So, at the end of the day, you can look them in the face and say, if you get up out of that seat, or you don't answer these questions, we'll let you go home. And according to their contracts, they only get paid. They don't get paid. Talent on these reality shows is very sketchy as hell. The contracts are sketchy as hell. Because with these traditional contracts, you don't get paid for the number of hours that you film. You don't get paid for coming out and seeing them and sitting in that seat and getting mic'd up and having them film. You don't get paid for that. You get paid for your appearances on the episodes. For your contributions on the episodes, you get a portion of that. And that's how they figure out your pay. So, if what they tell, all they have to say is, look, you filmed all day. You filmed for 8 hours, 16 hours. We're not going to use none of it. So you don't get paid. They don't get paid residuals. They don't get paid what they call royalty checks. They don't get royalties. So you get one check. It's a 1 day, one pay for them. So you come out, you do the shoot, they put you in the episode, you're in 4 episodes, you get a certain amount of money, you get X amount of dollars, that's it. So if they stop working for TLC tomorrow, they don't have royalty checks coming in the mail. Big shout out to Kimberly the Queen, 1961. $2 super chat. Yes, James. Thank you so much, Kimberly. Happy New Year. Kimberly the Queen. Rochelle J in the house. Join the official MyTakeOnReality Facebook group by clicking join. After clicking join, you'll receive approval shortly. Please smash the like here. All right. Rochelle J got that up and running. $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Rochelle J. Appreciate that. Sarcasm for fun. Make it rain on the likes. Down 99. Thank you so much, Sarcasm for fun. There's one more. Sarcasm for fun with the down 99 super chat. I'm starting a rain train. Like. That's right. Hit them likes. Get them likes up. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Aisha B said, please say more about Mama's Boy that spoil their marriages and never grow up. Well, you know what? I'll even say that. I'll give you that piece. Speaking of production, did Kathy Red doesn't buy enough chicken breasts. I'll say this about like even a production side with the whole Mama's Boy thing. The thing that made Cody attractive to TLC, because they actually had other families that were being officially and being interviewed for basically it's auditions, but being talked to about doing Sister Wives. One of the families that they had talked about doing Sister Wives, the original family that was going to be on Sister Wives was actually the Dargers. They talked to them. They talked to Joe Darger and his 3 wives. They had talked to the guy who did the My 5 Wives show. He was actually one in the running to be on Sister Wives as well. But the funny thing is that TLC, and this is one of the scary things. Like, if you ever want to find out how stable your relationship is, put in to try to do a reality show. Because if you put in for a reality show and they come out and they say, yeah, no, we decided to go another way, that's most likely because your relationship is pretty solid and you're a normal ass person. If they look at your relationship and they go, we would love to have you. In fact, could we start filming immediately and will you sign these contracts? Yeah, there's something going on. You need to start checking some books, start putting some damn cameras in your house and start running tapes, something. Because they see something going on. Kimberly the Queen, 1961, $2 super chat. I'm feeling the rain. Sarcasm fun, it keeps raining or hit them like buttons. $9 super chat. Thank you so much. And what do I mean by TLC came out? When these reality shows come out, they try to look for cracks. Because that's the drama. That's the story. That's the storyline. They look for the cracks. They look for issues. Now imagine when they pull up to talk to the Browns, right? First they come out, they're going to talk to Cody. They're going to talk to the three wives, OG3. They pull up to the house, the Lehigh house. Wow, they're all living in one house? Okay, that could be interesting. They pull into the driveway. They see beat up Tahoe, beat up minivan. They see Mary's sedan car with tape on the window. And then you have Cody's two-seater Lexus convertible. How many kids this guy got? He got 13 kids. And he has a luxury convertible car with two seats in it. Well, I guess he got two little, they have a back seat in them cars, and they're not really a back seat. They're not adult back seats. And he got 13 kids? Yep. Okay. They getting there. And he's got a motorcycle too? Yep. Okay. They go in there, talk to him for a little bit. What's up with the food? Can I see the food? Oh, I mean, sometimes we don't have enough. You don't have enough food. And he got what kind of cars? Oh. And then they meet Robin. So this guy has 3 wives, 13 kids he's barely taken care of. He's got a young girlfriend who's about 10 to 15 years his junior, who you could see the way he talks about her that he's in lust with her. He's heavy in lust with her, and he wants her bad. She got 3 kids of her own from previous marriage. They're like, this shit is going to blow up all kinds of ways. And he's got like this naive view of life and relationship that this is going to be terrible. We got to catch it on film. And that's where the production side came in. Sarcasm for fun with the 99-cent super chat. The sad face was wrong. Did I do something? Or you want some more like buttons, baby? Oh, that's my shoe! My shoe! With the $5 super chat. My theory is that Robin... My theory is that Robin and Cody have a funky secret room in their house and a safe word. That head over the mouth thing, Robin got some leather. You said Robin packing? You better shut it up before something happened to you. I wouldn't doubt it. That pencil box. They call Robin, a.k.a. pencil box. Because, the good boy's going out getting your pencils wet. Susie Q with the $5 super chat. Happy New Year's, James. Happy New Year's, Susie Q. I agree. Normal doesn't drive rating. Batshit crazy does. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you don't believe that, let's take a quick study or quick look at sorry, put my hand up on the drum. Probably. But let's take a quick look at like Bravo with the Real Housewives of Anywhere. Right? When that show first came out, it was like Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, where they come out and they put the thing up and they say, "Oh, this is what's going on, blah blah blah," and we make so much money. We live these kind of fancy dancy lifestyles. We live in these big houses, got these nice cars. You know, they go out and I'm gonna spend $15,000. Not even think about it. I don't care. I ain't gonna look at the bill. Swipe it. And then every time they have somebody like that, especially the ones that were like super, just throwing money everywhere, broke. You know, it got so bad that, like a couple of them got locked up. You know what I mean? For stealing money and shit. Like they know that this stuff is going on, and they know it's going to blow up. When they bring you in and they hire you, they know that your relationships are going to blow up. And when you just the natural pressure of the show, by having so many people watching you, and even kind of the discussion we had earlier, when you put your business out there, people are going to comment on your business. And a lot of, how many relationships can actually withstand people commenting on their business? The reason I don't put my business out there is because I'm trying to keep my relationships going. You know what I mean? And that would be my thing. The crazy part about it, I've said it before, I will say it again. The worst thing that could happen to Cody is they fire him off the show. Financially, he will be ruined. And because he'll be financially ruined and he can't provide those nice things anymore, there's a strong possibility he's going to lose his wife. Robin's going to leave his ass. Best thing that could happen to Cody is he get fired off the show. Because if he gets fired off the show, that gives him the opportunity to be able to heal and repair a lot of the relationships that he's abandoned, destroyed, and neglected over the course of the years, where maybe he can start having relationships with his kids and the people that actually want to have relationships with him and don't care about what's in his pockets. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there. Sarcasm for fun. $1.99 Super Chat still raining. Hit the like. And let's get those likes up, please. Oh, wow. Freak on a leash. Oh, you ain't joking. Say, Cody. Oh, wow. Freak on a leash. Kotex wants to be the stuffing and sobbing savory turkey. Yuck. Yeah, I don't want to think about Robin's turkey. Did you see... What? Oh, yeah. Did you see the screenshot of Ariella putting her hand over Saul's mouth just the same way Robin put her hands over Cody's mouth? Yeah, I'm sure that's the thing that they do in the house. That's something that she's seen. And I think a big part of it is because that's what Sarcasm for Fun, $1.99 mood. I think, because part of the thing is that even when, my position is that during the talkback, Robin has kind of exhibited the example that she didn't really want to be there, and this is something she don't want to participate in, and she's just kind of doing it because she's forced to do it. I'm doing it under duress. I think part of the reason why she has such a sour look on her face is because she can't control what Cody says and what he does. She can't stop him. Like, this dude is just going to say and do whatever he wants to do, and she can't stop him. She can't filter him. And she needs to have control. She needs to have that power where she can filter what he says and his reactions to stuff. And she can't do it when he's out there doing this. And he's in the pity party mode, because I think that's part of where she cultivated that relationship to get to. And that's what he needed to become in order to be with her. So he's living and dwelling in that pity party state where he's just like feeling sorry for him. Everything's a big offense to him, and he's the victim of everything that's going on in the world, and everybody's mistreating him. Nobody's loyal to him. Nobody's treating him the way he deserves to be treated, and he's going to let everybody know, because after he tells everybody how badly they've been treating him, they're going to start cleaning up their act and start treating him better. And I think that's the position that he's taking. It's unfortunate, because to be honest with you, nobody gives a shit, because you've displayed such bad behavior. At this point, everything you're getting, the way most people are looking at it, at least in my interpretation of how most people are looking at it, everything you're getting is everything you deserve. This is the house that you built. This is the bed you made. Now you got to lay your ass in it. And so if you're upset with the way things are turning out, it's kind of on you. Too bad, so sad. Sorry. Sarcasm of fun with the $2.99 super chat. Big thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up button, please. Thank you so much, Sarcasm. Anybody see Just Scrapping today? I haven't seen Just Scrapping. I know she was in the house last night. Hopefully everything is cool. It just hit me just now. There's some other stuff I wanted to hit too. Let me see. Oh yeah. They finally got around to that dang on abusive ass porch speech where Cody was standing there. I think I have it. Do I have that thing? I know I got it here somewhere. Where Cody did the whole porch speech, and he said there, "The sacrifices I made to love you wasted." It's a knife in the kidneys. And the Oscar goes to this asshole. The knife in the kidneys. And all the sacrifices I made. That dummy. But they finally got around to admitting that porch speech. And if you listen to what he said in that porch speech, it was an utter waste of damn time. Because he was doing a lot of screaming. He was doing a lot of hollering. But he had nothing to say. It wasn't as though he stood there and he was like, I got to get this off my chest. I'm tired of this. And when people, see, because the thing is, when people really have a gripe and really people really want to nail your ass with something that they want to say, they start running a list. You know, when people start flipping out, they get to that point where they've hit their limit. Like, I've been quiet this whole time and I've been holding my tongue. But dang it, you people done pissed me off. And you start running your list. You be like, you did this and this and this and this and that. And you was the, and you know, by the time you get finished, it's like a jazz thing. You're like, tank, 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 and they going nuts on you. Cody stood there and said, I made all the sacrifices. What sacrifices? Run the list of the sacrifices, the things that you gave up. What did you give up? The time, energy you spent time at my house. You went over there. Let's be clear. You sat there and acted as though you were doing her a favor when you was going over there. I'm trying not to be too vulgar. When you was going over there doing your thing and you were making 6 babies, you act like you was doing her a favor. In that situation, no matter how you try to cut it, we only have a receipt. Children and people are basically a receipt that one person had a good time. That's it. You're the only person in that situation that I can guarantee had a good time in that whole expression. Your sacrifice. You the one that had a good time. You walked out of there with a smile on your face. She might have been there reading a magazine during. I don't know. But that's what was happening there. So was that the sacrifice? Did you sacrifice by giving her children? By giving her the opportunity to join the family? And if you made all these sacrifices, if I made a bunch of sacrifices for somebody to do something that I didn't want to do and I'm miserable about them being there, I'm not going to be miserable that they left and they're leaving. I'm tired of giving up all this stuff that I'm giving up for you and you're not appreciative or grateful and you want to go? Go. Bye. See ya. Not Cody. That speech meant nothing. So, I mean, that's the first part. But the second part was Janelle came out and admitted that that speech was all about Robin. You're a shit sister wife, basically. Shit sister wife to who? She's great friends with Janelle. You don't care about Robin or Mary. That's clear. So the only person he could have been talking about was Robin. He denied it before and said, no, it wasn't about Robin. It was about her just not really thinking about the big picture, even when he was standing on the porch. It's about the big picture. You try to make this about you and me. But it's about you didn't try to have a relationship with these people. He has a relationship with the one with Janelle. You don't care about what Mary's doing. You said you didn't even know why Mary was still in damn Arizona. I don't even know why she's still here. Why do you keep showing up? What are you doing? So you don't care about her. So the one you were talking about was Robin. And in this one episode in the Look Back, he finally admitted that it was about Robin too. Because he came out and what did he say? He said he was tired because it seemed like Robin was begging Christine to have a relationship and she didn't want to have a relationship. And so he lost his shit. That's what he said. So it's all about Robin. So they were right. The OG3 were right. It is the relationship dissolutions were all about Robin. Point blank period. The thing that I was talking about earlier that I thought was extremely sad. And before I get into that, let me just hit these super chats real quick. Carmen Harper with the 279 super chat. Thank you so much. No message, just the love. Appreciate you, Carmen. Merry New Year. Happy New Year, Carmen. Carol Clemens. Happy New Year's, James. Love your channel. Thank you. I love the fact that you're here. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Appreciate it. I'm so happy you guys are here. You know, it could be a lonely time when nobody shows up. Just saying. Sarcasm for fun. Just grabbing. Probably still sleeping. This is her for her. This is for her. Oh, thank you, $1.99 super chat. I just want to make sure she's okay. Yeah, she might still be asleep. I probably would still be asleep if I didn't set my alarm because we did a long one last night. Sarcasm. We was in the house. Karen Milky with the $4.99 super chat. Cody and Robin spent to look rich. Rich people don't spend to be rich. That's true. The craziest, most honest thing you can say about that situation. Thank you so much for the super chat. And Happy New Year, Karen. I 100% agree. The funny thing about it is, and this is very against like the natural intuition of things, rich people tend to look poor because they don't give a shit. Like they go put on a t-shirt and a pair of jeans and be worth billions of dollars, walking around with flip-flops on. They don't care, right? But poor people spend their time trying to look rich. Rich people use their money to work for them so that they don't have to work. Poor people work so that they can try to look rich, you know, and it's just a trade-off in time. And the best example of that is simply this. A rich person and a smart person. I'm not rich, so I would rather have $5,000 in a paper bag than to walk around with a $5,000 bag with a receipt in it. So, you know what I mean? I would rather have $5,000 in a paper bag than walk around with a $5,000 bag with a piece of paper in it, that receipt in it. Like, yeah, this is looking funky fresh. No, forget that. Because who am I trying to impress? Poor people try to impress everybody else and impress upon everybody else how much they have. You know, fine clothes, you know, crazy looking car. Oh, your car is amazing. They pulling up to their mama's house so they can go sleep in the basement where they late on rent. You know what I mean? So their spending habits will undo them. And I think that was also part of it. Like I said, when they walked up there, they see that this guy has a family who is struggling financially. And he has luxury cars sitting outside, and he's got a motorcycle that does nothing for the family. And these women who are taking care of these kids are driving around with cars on baloney skins and the blow them up motors. You know what I mean? You crank the car up too fast, the motor drop out the fucking car. Like, you know what I mean? And they see this, they're like, yeah, this is a disaster waiting to happen. We got to catch it on tape. It's like catching Bigfoot as far as these reality people are concerned. Oh, well, shit. Check this out. 499 Super Chat. Love the name, by the way. Hi, James. Did you already discuss the swearing and basic bitchiness from Cody this episode? Hit the like, people. Thank you so much. Love the name. Well, shit. Check this out. Yeah, they're just the general bitchiness of him. And him, blah, 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 and the swearing and him coming out of character. That's just, he's unraveling. And that's the crazy part about it. He's spiraling because he's in so much trouble. Like financially, like you talk about how much he's spending. If you look at where he is as far as his spending is concerned and the money that he has coming in from TLC, I understand why he's mad at the production team. I get it. Because I've been saying this and I'll say this to the day I'm gone. He started out this show. It was a hit TV show. They were making a lot of money. Because remember, he had to renegotiate. When they were in Vegas, they were about to cancel the show. And he had to renegotiate the money down so that he could keep the show. But when they started this show, he was making like crazy money because the show was extremely popular. And all that money that they were making from TLC, all 5 of those checks were going into the Cody Brown account that he had access to. And that he was spending for his pleasure, for Robin's pleasure. Right? And he was able to do that. Then you update the situation. He's sitting here. Mary's left. Christine's left. Janelle's left. And more importantly, they took their bank books with them. And now I'm sure they've contacted TLC, especially Janelle, Christine, and even Mary now have contacted TLC and said, yeah, stop sending my check to that account and you can start sending it to this account, my account. In which case, Cody has gone from getting 5 checks to getting 2 checks. So this would be the equivalent of if you get paid $100 to do a job, they take away 60 of those dollars, 3 of those, 5, 20 make 100. You take away $60 and you leave $20 or 2 20s, that's $40. You're doing $100 worth of work for $40. Yeah, when you get a pay cut like that, you will be mad as shit. That's 60% of your money is gone. You are mad. Cody's mad. And then there's a possibility that these women might leave the show and go get their own shows. And if they get their own shows and those shows become popular, might not need Cody and them anymore. So he might get fired. So now he's sitting here while he goes from the star of the show, the person who in his mind the show is all about me and about my relationship with these women and how I navigate the polygamous relationships and lifestyle. And he goes from that to all of a sudden he might not have a job. Yeah, he mad. He cussing. You know what I mean? Debs with the $10 super chat. Happy New Year, Debs. Cody is just mad that everyone could see he wasn't the heart of the family. It was always Christine. Exactly. That's what, you know what? I said this before, and I don't know if people heard me say it, but I will say this again to the day that I'm gone. Based on the TV show, there was one episode in season 16 where they all got together and they were trying to figure out what they were going to do for the holidays. And it was a COVID time. And Janelle got there and she was talking to Christine and she said, yeah, well, Christine, my kids want to know what you're doing because they all said that we're doing whatever Christine does. We're going where Christine goes. And if you look at Cody's face, I'm gonna have to clip that and put that up. When you look at Cody's face, I knew at that moment that Christine was fucked. She was fucked though. When you looked at Cody's face and Janelle said that, Cody was like, wait a damn minute. That would mean that she's the center of the family. He felt the rivalry and he knew he had lost. When he sat there on that porch and he was hooping and hollering, talking about, you taking the kids with you like the Pied Piper taking all the kids. You know why? Because she's the one that was doing the kids. All those kids, all the OG-13, all those kids, they see Christine as the mom. Even Janelle, she acknowledges that when she was at work and she was killing herself at work, because I think that, I said it before, I say this again as well. It's my position that I believe, and I'd be willing to bet that Janelle was making more money than Cody was. Janelle was the breadwinner of that family. She was the one that was driving a lot of it. They let Cody pretend like he was doing, I'm the patriarch and I'm providing for all these kids. I make a way for Christine to stay home and I'm taking care of Robin because I'm the master patriarch. I think they let him do that for his image, but Janelle was the one who was making that money. Janelle was making that paper, which is also part of the reason why I think that he doesn't care for her that way. Let me just get this. Okay, so with all that being said, Christine was the one who was doing the day-to-day. She was the one that was doing homework, seeing the kids off, getting them when they get back. And they still saw how she was suffering and trying to make everything happen. She's the one that did the holidays, birthdays. She's the one that remembered them, the little days, the little accomplishments and achievements that the kids had. Christine is the one who celebrated all that. She was the record keeper. She was the one who was in charge of all that. So yeah, they all had a relationship with her. And because of that, when it was time to go, all the kids went with us because she is the family. When Cody's talking about, I lost my family. Yeah, you lost your family when Christine left because Christine was your family. Thank you so much for the super chat. Sorry, there's a couple I can't put up on the screen because the system screwed me, but I'm going to acknowledge them here. Tracy's Fractured History and more with the $1.99 super chat. I like your tape. Thank you so much. I like the fact you here. Happy New Year. Sarcasm for fun. Back up in the house. Back up with the $1.99 super chat. Kathy Ferran wanted to say Moldy Locks is, what is this? Moldy Locks sucks. Moldy Locks. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not 100% sure. I might not be up on fashions. But those curls, and I don't want to get too crazy with it. I don't want to, go all physical on them. The curls, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Cody has naturally curly hair. His hair always looked straight. Even when he was younger, his hair was relatively straight. He didn't have curly hair. He's sitting there trying to pretend like he puts a little bit of product in his hair and his hair goes super scrunch, super curl. I thought that if you had straight hair and your hair was as curly as Cody's hair is now, you would have to get a perm. Am I correct? If I'm right on my assumption or my assessment, please give me a 1. I just wanted to do a quick poll. Give me a 1 if he had to get a perm or something in order to get his hair curly like that. Give me a 2 if he could just get out of the shower, wet it, and then, squeeze it and spray it a little bit, and he'll have curls like that. Or he'd have to, twist tie it or something. Like, I don't know. You have to put it in curlers or something. Like, I don't think you could just, mash your hair and you get perfect ringlets. Like, I've never heard of that shit. So give me a 1 if you think that he put some chemicals up in that joint. He's working on a chemical plant. Or 2, if he's, if it is something that you can do, technique you can do. I'm not sure. I don't know. And I was just curious. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat. Let me see. Can I get any of these others? Okay, here we go. I'm going to start pulling some of these back up. 555 from Rachel. Paper bag life, James. Paper bag life, that's right. Paper bags all day. Shit, would you rather have $5,000 in a paper bag? Hell yeah. Stop there. Stop. James, can we buy memberships this year? Yes, I will be doing memberships, and I'm going to I wanted to make sure. Thank you so much for asking, and thank you so much for the super chat. Happy New Year, Rachel. The thing is that before I started offering memberships, I wanted to make sure that I was going to be able to offer something value added to having a membership. I didn't just want to charge people to start sending money. So I wanted to make sure I could give to the members something a little unique, something a little different, which I will be doing, and I will be rolling that out, and I'll roll it out in a membership package. But we will be doing that this year. But thank you for asking. Sarcasm for fun up in the house. Bodylocks should stay out of the rain. Get those likes up. $1.99 super chat. Make it rain. Or make it rain. With those like buttons. All right. Carol Clemens, I do believe Cody is losing it because of the finances and the money, and it couldn't happen to a nicer gentleman. That is true. Because he's getting what he deserves. He made that bed, he's going to have to lay in it. And again, I think that it goes back to the whole idea that if you are mistreating the people, and this kind of goes to what I was saying before about him abandoning his wives and him mistreating his wives. If he was taking care of those relationships, he would have access to the good fortune that these women are experiencing now, the financial success that they're experiencing now. That success would be part of his success and be part of his story. He would actually be in a better position right now because these women are actually doing very well with the multi-level marketing. I'm not a fan of MLMs at all, but they're doing extremely well with these MLMs, especially Mary. When I understand, Mary is killing the game in the MLM game. Like, she's killing the game. Like, she's making crazy bank. And Cody is, and I think that when Cody talks shit to her about Mary, part of the reason why he has such vitriol towards Mary, especially now, is because she is sitting on top of a whole pile of cash and he doesn't have access to any of it. That shit, I'm sure that is killing him. You know, because he'll go out and buy fancy jewelry, fancy paints, fancy this and fancy that. But Mary is sitting on top. She's got the money to be able to afford to do all that stuff. He does it, and he's robbing Peter to pay Paul, or he's borrowing from this one, or he's got home equity loans. He got like 2-3 loans on that house, the McMansion, right? Mary could have came up, kicked that money up right off the top. She could have, just broke that money off the top of her little stack. She could have, okay, yeah, there you go, and there'd have been no fuss, no muss for her. So when I look at it, one of the things that I had said earlier was that when it comes to these relationships, I think that the difference between the OG3 and Robin, with the OG3, he had a partnership. These are relationships that he would have to feed into. They saw him as equals. They built together. They struggled together. They had to make it work together. So they were more partners. With Robin, she gets to play the damsel in distress, looking for the white knight in shining armor to come and save her from her situation. Make everything okay. He can be the traditional man, the traditional leave it to Beaver-esque type husband, where he gets to come in and take care of the family. She's there waiting for him with the dinner cooking and he sits down in his chair and she takes puts his feet up in the recliner. She takes his shoes off, put on his slippers, brings out his evening cocktail while he's preparing for his pre-dinner cocktail. When he finishes his cocktail, he can decide whether he wants to sit at the dinner table with the rest of the family or he can sit in the family room with the TV dinner tray brought out and sat in front of him, and she dropped the tray, bring him a fresh drink, and he sit there and eat his food, watching TV in quiet and peace and quiet. He wants to have that life. And basically with the OG3, he would have been a husband. With Robin, he would have been a hero. And unfortunately in this situation, he wants to be the hero, not a husband. And so he got rid of the OG3. The thing is that the OG3, because these were his partners, he struggled with them. He built with them. He had to hold on with them. These women are builders. If he was in a relationship with them, then they'll continue to build because they're going to do what they do. When you're with somebody like Robin, no shot on Robin, just the reality of it. When you're with a woman like Robin, she's a spender. She's a taker. So she's going to, as long as you have, your relationship will survive. But the minute you lose, or you're trying to build bigger, or you're trying to build better, she's not the one that's going to help you build yourself back up. If he loses everything, these other women would work with him and help him to get through what he's going through, and then help him rebuild his wealth. He gets with somebody like Robin, you don't have it no more, she can't use you no more, you're of no utility, she will leave. That's the very subtle difference. Thomas P. Kitten, $4.99 super chat. I'd rather have $5,000 than a bag with a $5,000 receipt in it. Love it, James. Yeah, I'm telling you, who you telling, Thomas? All day. You know what I mean? There was a little while ago, even on that note, a little while ago, there was a meme that was running around, and it had like this big, beautiful house. It was like, would you live here if nobody else could know? Like, you couldn't have parties, you couldn't have like big gatherings and stuff, you couldn't stun on people with your address. Would you want to live in this house? When do I move in? Because I would live there for me. Because I would like to live there. You know what I mean? I have a house now. I have a place now. I don't have parties at my place. My house is for me. My house is for my comfort and for my peace of mind. I come home to be comfortable. I come home to find peace. My mom had described it as when you come home, the one place in this world where you should always have peace is in your house. When you walk past that door, that should be your place of peace and serenity. When you walk past that door, you go past that door jam out into the world, you gear up, you get ready for war. But when you come back home, that's your place of respite. That's the place where you should be able to relax. That's the place where you should be yourself. And that's one of the big things with Cody and his relationships with these women is that he never allowed them to have that place called home, because each one of them had to play and pretend to be a certain character and a certain person so that they could fit into his worldview, so that they can be the people that he needed them to be at the time he needed them to be that thing. But they could never be themselves. They could never come to him and say, I have an issue. This is my problem. This is what's going on with me. This is what's happening with the kids. Here are my disagreements. This is the things that I'm hoping for, the things I'm dreaming for, the things I want out of life. They could never do that. And because they could never do that, they could never be themselves. So when he's sitting there crying and lamenting, missing these women, he doesn't miss his wives. The person that he actually misses, and the people that he actually misses, are the people that they pretended to be. And unfortunately for him, those people, although the experiences were real, the situations were real, and maybe even the emotions were real, those people who he was presented with weren't. Because those weren't the complete sides of all the people, the complete people that he was in a relationships with, because he didn't want to have a complete relationship with these people. And as crazy as it is, as much as he said that to Christine, you don't want to have a relationship with these people, he didn't want to have a relationship with them. Shout out from Lady from Mars. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's, Lady from Mars. A little puppy. Okay. You probably answered this already, but have you considered reviewing Welcome to Plathville? I would love to hear your opinion on this show. 999 Super Chat. Thank you so much. I have to start watching it. I've seen it, like kind of popping into my feed a little bit. I'll start watching it. And if there's some stuff in there that I can comment, I certainly will be open to comment on it. Thank you so much for the super chat, and thanks for the idea. I appreciate it. Let me see. Just make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. Okay, Vixen, have a good one. She said, I'm clocking out, James. I know, right? How long have we been up? Let's see. Oh, 2:30. Goodness gracious. Rocking 2.5 hours. All right, Vixen. You have a happy new year, Vixen. I'll talk to you soon, hopefully. Let's take a look at this. From Joy Gibson. I think the big picture really means him being absolute leader of a large group of people, and he feels Christine's leaving ruined his culty dream. I agree with that. Ultimately, the big picture that Cody was talking about was a big-ass picture of him kissing him. That's what the big picture was. When he talks about the big picture was to serve his needs and his desires. That's what the whole goal, purpose and goal of the family and organization was, to support him. It wasn't to develop this beautiful, organic relationship with these people and try to experience life together. It was all created as an organization or entity to support him. And I think that that's part of the reason why it failed as horribly as it did. Just to get back to the one thing I did want to say, because I know I kept promising it, and I might even get a wrap on this. When they were talking about that porch scene, that was an example to me of Mary and her sadness. Because the sad part about Mary's situation, especially in relation to the porch scene, is that Cody did this to her twice. When he was sitting there talking to Mary and Christine, And she was on Christine's porch. She was telling her she was leaving. He looked over and Mary was like, well, what do you have to say, Mary? You're sitting there like you want to say something. It's okay. You can say whatever you want. Because he was expecting Mary to be nasty Mary, to come out and lash out at these women and be his enforcer. Because again, that's part of his big picture. That's why he was keeping Mary around. And Mary doesn't serve that need for him anymore. So he wants to get rid of Mary. The same thing, ironically, the same thing he was complaining about as to why he doesn't want to be with Mary is a thing that he wanted Mary to do to Christine, which is crazy in and of itself. But he also did it with Mary and Janelle. When Janelle came over to Mary's house and they had a one conversation and Janelle was going to show the plans of the house that she was going to have built. And Cody's like, well, before we start talking about this, we know we're going to divide the lot, do the 5 lots, right? And he cut Janelle off. And then Robin said, well, I need to know who's going to be here. And And then Mary was like, well, I'm here, Robin, and up. And Robin said, well, I didn't want to say anything because I wanted Janelle to answer the question. Janelle, I need to hear from you. What are you doing? And Janelle went right to Cody. That whole conversation, Cody had looked at partway through, Cody had looked at Mary and said, well, Mary, you can say what you want to say. It's okay. Because he wanted Mary to chime in and say, Janelle, you need to stop hanging out with Christine. She was supposed to be his mouthpiece, but she didn't do it. And the sad part about it is that Mary has found herself in a situation where she is isolated and alone in this situation. Throughout COVID, she was following the rules. Nobody came by, called, or checked on her ass. She could have fell down the steps and she'd have been dead, gone, crippled up in that house all by herself. And nobody would have ever known. You know what I mean? They wouldn't have found out about Mary till she started stinking. And the mailman came by the house. It's messed up. It's truly messed up. Nobody was checking on Mary's ass when she was there during COVID. But even after that, when she's sitting on the steps, she had revealed that when Cody was standing there yelling at Christine, the knife and the kidneys and all our sacrifices to love you and all that, she had said that I wasn't in with Christine and Janelle. They were one group. I'm certainly not in with Cody and Robin. So she was an outsider in that situation. And I always felt that. She was an outsider. She didn't have a place to be able to say anything to anybody. And Cody wanted her to start snapping on people. She didn't have a place. Cody didn't want her. And if she snaps on these people, she's there just by the grace of barely holding on in the family. She's sitting on the porch, doesn't understand why she's there. And the one thing she did say that I truly believe is that she wanted to have a relationship with Cody. And Cody was the reason why she was sitting on that porch and why she stayed in there. But even then, she said, like, when she started being open and honest about it during the look back, she said that even when he was sitting there yelling at her, there were a lot of things that Cody did that she didn't approve of and that she thought Cody was wrong about. So, I mean, that's kind of where we are with that. My chat just froze. Oh, I got cut off. Let me see. Hold on. Pop this out. And that's one of the sad parts about this whole thing. Uh-oh. Yeah, my chat totally froze. Oh, okay. Because Rochelle J wrote, James, take blood pressure medicine before watching Planet. Oh, wow. Is it that bad? I might have been missing out. I might be missing out. Thanks for letting me know, guys. Okay. Kim Apple. Thank you so much. Said her and her husband, I can't put it up on the screen. I don't know what's up with my my thing. Says her and her husband looked up the thing from Beer and Skittles. It comes back from 1800s Charles Dickens reference in one of his books. Skittles is a game. Okay, all right, that makes more sense. Oh, Cody trying to be classy. Beer and Skittles, because I'm ready for a challenging game of the Skittles. That doesn't even sound like, you know what I mean? That doesn't sound like some life and death stuff. I don't know if you can bet on Skittles. Are you ready to play some Skittles? Choose your weapon. Yep. See, somebody wrote that. What's this? My Zoo for You? James, any thoughts on the special seeing Cody and Robin referenced into one of their cameos? I never saw anything this season. The special scene? I'm not even sure what that would be in reference to. Because, I mean, there's so much crazy shit that was happening. And they're trying to, like, these two are also playing around with, light sarcasm. And they're not really good at it. Like, they do sarcasm. They gotta have, they're kind of on that level of sarcasm for idiots. Where it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You know? Because they'll say stuff like even with the upcoming wedding. You know, yeah, because Christine was trying to blame me for some... we're happy they're married. We're happy, so happy for them. Like, we know you're not happy for them. Because you wanted to trap her ass and trick her to come back. And she's not coming back. And you're pissed. And that's fine. Okay, now here we go. Cody trying to make literary references. Try reading the CS letter first. See, thank you. Lisa Lehman said beer and Skittles. I was like, that's nasty. Exactly. I was like, who the hell? I've never heard somebody say, you know what I need to do, man? I'm going to go down and get me a 6-pack of Budweiser and a pack of Jolly Ranchers. Like, man, all you gonna do is either ruin your experience with the beer or the candy. Like, two things that do not go together. What's this? Well, shit. Check this out. 499 super chat. People want Mary Christine to become friends. Also now, but I don't think it will happen with claims from McKelty. Thoughts? Christine has a new life now. I think that the only thing that ties them together really is the family. And I think that at best, because of Leon and because of Mary's relationships, healthy relationships that she may or may not have with the other kids. Because clearly McKelty has issues with her. But if anything, I think that Christine and Mary could have a cordial relationship. Like they could, show up at the same place and be able to sit there in the same room and nothing happen, nothing jump off or whatever. And that'll be fine. But I think it's too much to ask that they actually have a friendship. Like to see them become bosom buddies once again. I think that would be too much. Because it's too much water under the bridge. And there's nothing really tying them together. Especially if they're different types of people, then it just won't work. So do I think they'll get back together now? And Bill said, it's amazing how few people have actually heard the game Skittles. I've never heard of Skittles. I have to look it up. You know what I mean? Is that like a hood game? Like that's one of them games they be playing up in the flats of. Say, yeah, go get some Skittles, yeah. Look here, bro. Go play some Skittles. Oh, okay. Lee How. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Definitely do that. Putting the story of Cody working in a bakery. I didn't know Cody's father owned a bakery. Apparently, that's because they said that that's where Janelle's mom worked. She left a big time nursing job to go work in a bakery for Cody's dad. That's kind of crazy. What is this? One super chat. Let me see. That was a super chat. Oh, let me see. Thanks, Sarcasm for Fun, for clicking me on that. All right, Sarcasm for Fun, 999 super chat. Can we talk about Mary's divorce? Was the beginning of the? Oh wow, what the hell? Pop this chat out. Here we go. Sorry about that, guy. Oh, son of a mother. All right. I have to go up here. Oh, can we talk about Mary's divorce? Was the beginning of the end of, as Crowley saw it, because she felt at the first wife, she felt a power trip. Oh, yeah, yeah. Thanks for the 999 super chat, super sarcasm for fun. There was a point where she said, "Can we talk about Mary's divorce being the beginning and the end?" Because Cody tries to blame the breakdown in the family on Mary and him getting the divorce, the legal divorce, and saying that Mary all of a sudden changed the way she was going about things because she felt like she was losing her power and control over the situation. I don't believe that. I think that that's him just trying to recast Mary as the villain in this story, because every story needs a villain. Every story needs a hero. Every story needs a villain. Every story needs a protagonist and an antagonist. The conflict between the two helps to move the story along. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily be an evil person or a villain, but it certainly has to be somebody who is the heel or the person in the wrong in this story. And I think that he's trying to cast Mary as the person who is in the wrong. He's trying to throw Mary under the bus. She's the reason that the family fell apart and broke up, because she didn't know how to handle the separation between him and him peeling that relationship apart from her. That's what he's trying to do. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Because if you weren't really close to her prior to the divorce, and you were barely going over to her house prior to her divorcing her, and divorcing. And in fact, I take the position. Let's do a quick poll. How many people think that Mary was asked by Cody to get a divorce? Cody and Robin came to Mary and asked her for the divorce, and Mary was merely capitulating to their request. Give me a 1. And that's why she gave him the divorce. If you think Mary came up on her own and decided on her own by her lonesome that she wanted to divorce Cody to help Robin out, give me a 2. Let's just take a look at it real quick. And I'll give you guys an opportunity before I weigh in on it. One's populating. One's coming in. One's. Oh, see a lot of ones. Yeah, I think that they came to her and asked her about the damn divorce. So it wasn't that she had volunteered this divorce. Oh, Meatball said 2. Okay, Meatball. Think Mary just volunteered to get the divorce? Maybe because of the catfish thing. But again, I think that the catfish thing was just to sweeten the pot, to give her that feeling that she had a place to go. Yep. I think because I think that like a lot of people were kind of writing it. I think the one went in there to make her feel better about it, or give her that whole, you could be part of the family, and this would be a great sacrifice for you to make to show your commitment to the family. Da da da. And so she goes along with it, and she gets screwed in the end because that's all that happened. Teresa Skinner, let's see what she had to say. She said, one, I don't buy it either, James. Robin started acting like wife controlling everything after the divorce. Yeah, she did. Because there was a point where Robin had even said that she understood that being what the legal wife meant. She said in her history, she's seen where legal wives divorce the people and take everything. She said that. She understood it. So she knew what it was. Latrice Morale said, couldn't Cody adopt the kids without divorcing Mary? It's possible. It's possible. If she's willing to do it, the state wouldn't have stood in the way. They don't care. As long as he's not a danger to the kids, I think they would have let him do it. It might have been easier because that way they might not have to answer the questions about how many kids he got, baby mamas, and all that other stuff. What he's doing, what he's not doing, how he purports himself to be a husband and all that to multiple women. But I don't know if it was absolutely necessary. But don't think they would say it directly. They planned to see, like, if only Cody. Yeah. I can see that. I agree with that, Brooke Goldstein. They might not have came to it. Well, I'll say this. I don't think Robin came to Mary directly and was like, please get a divorce. Cody, yeah, because Cody's kind of ham-fisted. Robin's more the subtle, inception type. I can get a divorce. Oh, man, I need you to get a divorce. If only Cody and I were married, it would be so much easier. She's one of those. Cody be like, you know, to get us divorced that way. And I noted they knew about it prior to the announcement on TLC because Mary and Cody had a strained relationship for years. Mary calls over Robin and Cody and says, yeah, I called a divorce attorney. They would have lost their shit, especially Miss, I want the family to be together with a. She talking about, I want a divorce. And ironically, she had to call Cody from Robin's house. How about that? Okay. Carolyn R. I think that Robin controlled it all from the beginning. She manipulated enough to make Cody think it was his idea. I also think Robin's mom coached her. Yeah, Robin's working with some extra stuff. Like she got some pepper on that ball. Pepper on the pitches. Patriot Girl, he subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much, Patriot Girl. Appreciate you. Welcome to the fam. 2024 gonna be hot. It was just a chance meeting at the POW MIA rally. Oh, man. Yeah, see, I think that's exactly it. I think that the whole divorce thing was staged from Cody and Robin to benefit Cody and Robin. Once they got that divorce, they just started acting like married couples. Like he's saying that, I was able to carry out the act and I was able to perform my duties. But people aren't idiots and they can tell the difference. You can see the difference. If you sat in a room with somebody, like if there was somebody who you were attracted to, and you were there with your friend, your very attractive friend, and the guy or girl comes walking over, and your very attractive friend is there, and they looking at your attractive friend, and you try to talk to them, and they looking at your attractive friend, you know who they feeling in that situation. And you could be cracking you could be using all your best jokes, your best material. But you know, at the end of the day, they really like this person and not you. These women were trapped in that. And they understood that. Lee, they got mold bread from the family bakery. Yeah, the moldy bread. That's where they got the bread from. You're right. The stale bread. $1.99 Super Chat. Thank you so much for that. You're right. That's where, when they were talking about Cody was eating, the kids were eating old bread, moldy bread. That's where they were getting it from. Because he couldn't afford to feed them. Sarcasm for fun. Anyone else want to see the rings? Oh, anyone else want to see the rings drop on the intro? Yeah, right. $1.99 Super Chat. Thanks, Sarcasm for fun. Yeah, that would be awesome. I was waiting for that last night, actually. I thought they were going to do it, start rolling out the new intro where they just start dropping all the rings and you only have one ring left. I guess that'll be the new intro for the spinoff show. Like the rings will fly off the sister wife thing and be like, the sister wives. Bow! And then what's messed up is Janelle and Christine are the only two who still refer to themselves as sister wives in a mutual thing. Robin still tries to say, they're all my sister wives, because she's trying to keep the show going. You know what I mean? You can't have a Jackson 5 with two people in it. You know what I mean? We're the Jackson 5. Like, me and my brother Tony. Like, no. You're not the Jackson 5. First of all, where's Michael? Like, first thing, so you can't have the sister wives. When they say sister wives, the only two people on this show who consider themselves to be sister wives still is Janelle and Christine. So technically, you could have the rings fly off and then come together and call the show Sister Wives. It is Janelle and Christine. And they could retain and maintain the name. They're the only ones who could do it. So there's that. So we asked, why is Cody pissed off? Yeah, there you go. Reason number 465. Wow. I didn't realize. I didn't remember Robin saying that. Layla C, after the divorce paper goes through, and Mary is upset because I believe the divorce license was literally the only part of her marriage left. Robin's reaction, so that sucker's done, huh? Yep. Because it's not a big deal to her. It's just the paper shuffle work. It's just the shuffle of the paperwork. But Robin understood early on, even during those episodes of the divorces, she understood that the married legal wife has control over all the assets of the husband. So if you can continue, like, look at the way they talk about the structure of the family. We were a family that all worked together. We all contributed, and we all potted our money. And who controlled the pot? The husband. And it was all basically in his name. So he could distribute the money out to the family as needed. So if something were to happen to the husband, who would control the pot? The sister wives? No. The legal wife. Who's the legal wife? Robin. So Robin would have controlled all the family's wealth had they done everything they did. The last thing I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to let you guys go because I'm not trying to run a 5-hour chat after a 4-hour chat last night. It'd be crazy. People are like, this dude is insane. Last thing I want to talk about, and I'll be rolling out videos too. And I appreciate everybody hanging out and rolling with me during this midday show. Make sure you hit the like button. But the last thing I'll talk about is simply this. The one house thing. I'm tired of Cody trying to blame his breakup with Christine on this one house. You broke up with Christine because you treated her kids crappy. That's why you broke up with Christine. You lost your wife because you didn't know how to treat your kids. Full stop. When you did that whole thing with your daughter, that's why you don't have Christine no more. When Isabel went to get her surgery and you looked at her face and said, you can get on the bus by yourself and I'm not going and I can't be away from my family that long, so screw you and your back problems, that's when you lost your wife. It's not because of the one house thing. Last night I talked a little bit about it. That one house bullshit line, Stop selling that storyline because nobody believes it. That's some fantasy shit that you came up. You might as well put a castle with a moat up that bitch. There's no way in the world you was going to be able to afford that house on Coyote Pass. The undeveloped land of Coyote Pass that you were going to have to recondition and develop in order for you to build anything on it. That might have cost you anywhere from like that thing would have cost them anywhere from $250,000 maybe to $750,000 for them to be able to fix that land up the way it needs to be developed in order for them to be able to start building on that land and recondition it with the zoning, the architectural portions of it, having the ground rezoned and everything else, the lots paid off and everything else. Like, it would have been crazy money because they have to pay the land off first. And they haven't been able to do that yet. So they just recently did it. Janelle just recently paid the land off. That's the first thing. So first you got to buy all the land. Then you have to develop the land so that you can actually build on the land. Then you have to find an architect because the pictures were pretty and they might even been to scale, but it wasn't an architectural design with the specific measurements on what was going to be where and how you were going to put it there and how you were going to keep the damn roof from falling into the basement. So you have to make sure that all that is sound, that all has to be approved, all that stuff has to be done and put out, which you've never done. You presented the idea of the one house. You convinced them to move from Las Vegas, sell their homes, move to Las Vegas. Even with the home sales, let's be honest, if all of you sold your houses on average for $500,000, you would have came out to $2 million. It would have cost you at least that in order for you to break ground and build that house. For them to build that 17,000 square foot home at $150 a square foot cost ratio for Arizona, I don't even think that was Flagstaff. I think Flagstaff is actually more expensive. For you to be able to do that, you're looking at anywhere from $2.5 million house completed to probably realistically closer to $5 million. You guys don't have the money. So the whole idea that, we was going to build the one house and we was going to put our family all together and it was going to be amazing and Christine stood in the way, that's bullshit. It was never going to happen. You guys could have maybe put a tent out that bitch and slept in a tent together, had like a little colony of tents, but you were never going to build that big mega mansion because that's what you were building. You were building a mansion out there on Coyote Pass. And that mansion would have been left to Robin. That would have been Robin's house. So no, I don't blame Christine for saying I am not going to contribute to Robin's wealth and improvement throughout the course of I'm not going to spend the rest of my days working to make Robin and her kids happy. Like, or making them financially sound. And my kids are living in hell, they can't even get a damn refrigerator box. They sleeping on pizza boxes. No, hell no. That was never going to happen. So that whole storyline to me is a waste of time. Plus the fact that he keeps rolling out like Christine, it's a thing. Like Christine somehow is wrong for not wanting to live in that house. You didn't address the issues that she had as to why she didn't want to live in the house. You just want to yell at her, bark at her, and demand that she go along with something because it'd be cool for you and it would make you look good to have this big mega mansion, this polygamous paradise of a mansion. That's all you wanted to be able to stunt on other polygamists. Again, this goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Would you rather have $5,000 in a paper bag or a $5,000 bag with a paper receipt on it for $5,000? And at the end of the day, that's what that mansion was. It was the $5,000 bag. He wanted to be able to have this big house that they couldn't afford. So couldn't afford to build and maintain, which is another issue. You want to build this big mega mansion, and so you could stunt on the other polygamists and say, look at my big house, y'all. I'm polygamous. I'm the polygamous boss king. That's what I do. I do this all day, player. This is how I roll. But you couldn't do it. Because not only would you, it'll cost you, at minimum, it'll cost you $2.5 million to build a house. $2.5 million to build it. That's not putting water in the pipes. That's not putting electricity in the walls. That's not putting food in the cupboards. That's not you paying the property taxes. That's not you having to take care of repairs and things that may happen and go wrong on the house. Go to 17,000 square feet. Imagine if something happened to the roof out there. Would you be able to afford putting a new roof on the house? I doubt it. And I don't know where you were going to get that money from. And you pretending like, Sister Wives is never going to end. They had already talked about, when they were in Vegas, they had already talked about canceling the show. They should have started circling the wagons at that point, because the money train could have easily stopped in Vegas. It could have stopped. So it's just financially irresponsible for them to even talk about trying to do something like that. Yeah, going green moms. That's an excellent point. LOL. He can't pay property taxes on the empty land. He can't pay property taxes now. This dude is forever late on the property taxes now for his properties. He be late on the McMansion. He be late on this house, the County Pass. Always late paying them taxes. I mean, turn around, always get notices and stuff. Like, you will be in so much trouble. Like, all you would have did was build a nice house for somebody else. That's all you would have did. And to think the landlord knew all this, and so the lady knowing they wouldn't be able to build what they wanted. Yeah, because you know what? There's a land how. Here's another secret to the sauce. When you deal with people who could be unscrupulous or just business people, I'm not even gonna say he's unscrupulous. It's just business. I'd sell you a property as a loan, as a guaranteed loan. That is based. So basically, you're lending the money for me. You're paying me for my property. You miss payments or you can't keep the payments. What happens? The property reverts back to me. I keep all proceeds and payments that have been. You forfeit all that to me. And then I just take that same land and sell it to somebody else. And hopefully I can find another person to give me money. So basically I'm renting this land that nobody is able to do anything with, because they can't afford it. And I keep the land. So, I mean, who the dummy? It's not their fault. You should know your financial situation. That's what he's going to say. You should have known you couldn't afford this. Wait, why is Cody's name off the mansion? So they can't sue him? Would they be covered as... No, because the only way you could be a common law to Lulavia, that's a good question. To my understanding, the only way you could be recognized as common law is if the person isn't married. And if the person is married and you try to formalize that union, that would make the person who's married a bigamist at minimal. And instead of being charged with polygamy, technically they charge you with bigamy. And you would just have multiple counts of bigamy. And just bang the shit out of you. It'd be crazy. And as far as him taking his name off the house, I don't know why he would do that, because it doesn't, unless, I mean, if he did that, that would be the dumbest shit he could do. Because technically, if they sue him, they could still sue him, because the loan or the money that they gave him would precede him taking his name off the house. So any claim that the OG3 would have on that home would be on that anyway. And she would have to be able to buy and maintain the house with separate properties. Like, they would have to separate their money out. Because if he's using... 666. People in the chat. Ooh, scary. But if he has certain money... Like, if their money is together, it is community property between Robin and Cody. And he takes his name off the house. But they're using family money to pay for the home. Arguably, you could say he's still part owner of the house. Like, there's a lot of ways that you can get around that. So I don't know what they're doing. Like, some of this, maybe he's got like a genius lawyer. Maybe he's just hiring somebody who's just making moves to get to run up legal bills. I don't know. I don't know why he would do that. See, property goes up and down, though. In Ireland, it's ridiculous. My property was worth 1.5 million 23 years ago. Now it's worth chickens. What's that like in Flagstaff? I heard it's going up. Yeah, it's going up. So, as a for instance, Cody and Robin bought the McMansion for $800,000. The McMansion now, I think, is worth about $2 million. So, I mean, they're making good money on it if they can keep it, but they're also taking loans out against it, so that doesn't really help them. Yeah, guys, I better wrap this up. If Janelle got a forensic accountant going, I bet the courts can overturn hiding assets if they decide they're dividing things up. Yeah, and that's the whole thing, is that, because again, like a lot of that would predate them separating things out, and they probably could find, and my guess is, I'd be willing to bet, even in concordance with what Gone Green mom said, I think if they hired a forensic accountant, they could find misappropriation of funds that were being given from TLC to the family account that Robin and Cody misappropriated and used for their own enrichment, as opposed to for the improvement or betterment of the family, which is what the money was supposed to be used for. So I think that they could clearly make that argument. I think that is there. But again, my only concern is that they have to start doing, if they're going to take any legal action, they have to start acting on it now before the statute of limitation runs on it. Because if the statute of limitation runs on it, no matter how much they did, no matter how blatant or flagrant the violations are, if they don't make a move on it, then it's too bad, so sad. There's nothing anybody can do. And they're just going to have to lump it. Yeah, Alicia. I bet Cody and Robin are going to end up claiming bankruptcy at some point. They're horrible with money, and this show isn't going to last forever. If they, and then it cuts off. I agree with that. All right, Kathy Ferran, they're going to eat Cuban food. I'm hungry myself. Yeah, guys. But yeah, thank you so much for coming out. I'm gonna call it. I will be releasing videos, like I said, and I'll be having some. We'll be doing a live with Amanda and Sarah Howe from Reality Squad. Amanda from Reality Amanda. This Wednesday at 7 p.m. Come back, check me out. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be live. We're gonna go crazy. I'm sure we're gonna have plenty of foolishness to talk about. And we'll get into more in depth with some of the craziness that we saw this weekend. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I want to wish everybody a happy new year. Hope you guys brought it in the way you wanted to bring it in. And I hope that you're able to accomplish the things that you dreamed for yourself this year. Set your goals, set them high, make them important, and then try to get it. All right, it's showtime. It's 2024. It's showtime. It's go time. So let's get it. All right. And thank you guys so much for coming in. Make sure you guys hit that like button on your way out. I appreciate it. That's how you support the stream and keep us going. It's an easy way to support the stream. Plus, it's one of my favorite 4-letter F words. Is for real. So, yeah, I will be checking out Plashville for the new year. And I will be probably, if it's bad as I think it might be, Vixen's back. I can't quit you, James. I can't quit you, boy. I can't quit you. So I will be checking out Plathville this year. I'm kind of scared now. You guys got me skirt. You guys got me skirt. So we will be getting into that. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Thank you. I hope you have a fantastic new year. This has been My Take. I'm James. And this has been My Take on Reality. And I'm out.